All across this long, dark place, in this forest with trees that reach the sky, a great darkness is stirring deep within all of us. The flood has passed over 100 years before now, and all of us, are still drowning. Good morning, afternoon, and or evening, ladies and all those in between and beyond that binary of the internet. Welcome back to the Alliance Roleplay. More specifically, welcome back to Steel and Arbor, our little humble wood homebrew adventure for you. I'm Foxy, using he, they pronouns. I'm your metro for the duration of stream, and I have with me a table of lovely adventurers, fast-found friends, and destined forest folk who have a world to save, but they just don't know it yet. I can tell you all about their wondrous deeds, their incredible skills, and the bonds they're building, but I'll let them do that themselves. So, friends, in the order that I call you out, please tell the audience who you are, where you can be found on the internet, and of course, who you are playing tonight. Let's start with a near and dear friend of my heart, someone who I hope I can get to play at least a little bit more Battletech with me before it's all over. It's Lucian.
Battletech? Boy, what a callback. Hey, I'm Lucian. You'll find me here on this channel and basically nowhere else. Today I'll be playing Thag Shrubs, our Rune Knight hedge fighter. Hoping to maybe smash some things, but it's a festival, so maybe only some tables.
Maybe not those either. If
We're
we
gonna
can help it.
Out.
Some of us live here.
Yeah.
While you contemplate
Not me,
collateral, while you contemplate collateral, we'll slide it over next to another near and dear friend of mine, who I'm also hoping to someday get to play Battletech with me soon. It's Land the Dan.
Hey, I'm Land the Dan. What's up? I play Adlo Tomoya, the Gerbine Paladin of great personal valor and hospitable disposition, who it sounds like will be trying to stop Thag Shrubs from causing wanton property damage in this village that has so graciously invited us for their festival. So yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely.
Property damage.
Glad to have you on board. Sliding on next, Adlo.
Man's got a head.
Yeah, it's true. Sliding on next from Adlo to someone who I probably couldn't convince to play Battletech with me. It's Michelle.
Oh, hello. Hi, it's me, Michelle. I don't exist on the internet, so don't go looking for me there. But today, I'll be playing Coral of the Floodlands Delta Tribe, our armorer, artificier, inventor, and explorer. Passing it along to whoever's next.
Glad to have you back on board with us, Coral. Sliding on down to someone who unfortunately lives a bit too far from me for them to play Battletech with me. It's Tate.
A bit, yep. Hello Twitch and hello Internet. Like Man said, my name is Tate Washburn, and today I am playing Coriander de Clement, the Scout Rogue Rabbit Folk, or Lapin was I think the word we went with for that.
Yeah.
Someone who is really just, he's accomplished his mission, he's ready to go, he's just going to be vibing this session, I think. Definitely nothing bad's going to happen at all.
What
He's
goes
worried
wrong at a
about, but I
festival?
know.
Everything will be lovely and wonderful. And of course, last but certainly very far from least, someone who I think their brain might explode if playing classic Battletech. It's Sir Heck.
Yeah, that's me. Yep, nope, that's entirely tracked. It's not how my brain works. I'm the different kind of brain function, I guess. But hey everybody, it's me, Sir Heck-a-Lot. You know, I'm here. I'm on your screen. And I'm back with Katya Mustela, who is a Mapak warlock and very wholesome gremlin / menace. You pick.
And also probably the second most powerful mage in Narth, but we'll get there. Don't worry about that. Not important right now. And of course, if I've mentioned already, friends, I'm Foxy, and tonight I won't be playing Battletech, but I will be playing everyone who's not these 5 people, and helping them look really good, which it turns out is super easy to do. But before I do that, let's set the stage a little. With the old hollow cleared, and a strange new pair of acquaintances made, bloodshed avoided, our crew departs from the long rolling of the old hollow and begins to make their way home. Perhaps having grown even a small bit in the time they've had. But for now, we find ourselves not visiting them, but instead back in Narth. The streets are busied, people gathering, out-of-town caravans arriving. There are only a bare day or so's time left until the full splendor and love that is the Harvest Fire Festival. And as this town busies itself, we find ourselves following a curious-looking group of avian-looking individuals. Pristine, organized plumes are kept in them, each of them wearing a uniform-looking sash about their back, and strapped over their shoulders is a large bow. They walk towards what appears to be the Great Hall of Narth, 4 of them stopping outside, taking crisp turns and standing at perfect attention, while another turns and says, "Hold watch, 5 meter spread. I'll be back." And steps into the Great Hall. But they aren't the focus of our little story. However, our focus just happens to be arriving in about the exact same place. The camera slides itself over about a few dozen meters north. A forested path that is almost carves into the long northern road outside, heading into and out of Narth, has a curious group of 5 individuals trotting towards it. Having had a long night of rest and perhaps some contemplation and consideration, friends, you finally find yourselves walking back into the people-trodden, bird-chirping, warm-smelling, lovely town that is Narth that you left only but a few days ago. It's been a bit of a journey, and you've exhausted yourselves a little bit, but having had some time to rest, I'm sure you're all feeling at least relatively well-rested. You pass yourselves through the north, moving past a few small residences as you make your way down the main road, and otherwise find the group of you, well, left with your own space. You have roughly about a day or so's time until the festival kicks up in full. It'll happen about tomorrow evening, so you have the rest of today, and then, of course, you have, tomorrow up until the afternoon-ish. And then you'll be set from there, friends. So I think I've done about enough scene setting as our camera slowly pans down the sky-high trees, down their long trunks to a collection of squat, low, wood-laden buildings, and a collection of 5 curious individuals trotting their way down the road. Darlings, the scene is yours.
Finally, back in town then, eh?
Yeah, all in one piece it looks like. Well,
And it
we're all
seems we
different
will
pieces,
still-
but
And it seems we can still partake in the joys of the festival.
It's definitely the most important part. That's what I came here for, after all. How was the festival, by the way? Katya, you're from here, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's super fun. There's always a bunch of different stuff to do. Like there are different games, and the snacks are really good. Sometimes they combine the 2 of those. My favorite thing is the pie eating contest, because it's just both of those things, which is really fun. I'm trying to think what else. There's the same guy that does like a shell game where he puts like a little like coin or something like under these 3 shells, and he like switches them around. It's kind of funny to watch people get frustrated at it. Those are kind of the big ones, but yeah.
Okay. Sounds like a good festival, all in all.
Mm-hmm.
Games, food,
And of course
drink.
the fireworks.
else
Yeah,
did you ask
and
for?
the fireworks.
Fireworks, I did hear that was kind of the main, one of the main draws, right? Was the fireworks.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, it's like kind of the biggest deal because my family does it.
Oh, it's your. I see. Any
And you will take at a safe distance, right?
So what
Sure.
you mean is you
Uh,
want us to stand as close to the fireworks as possible, yes?
Well, maybe not that, unless like you're fine with a little, fur singeing.
Corey has been like silent as soon as you got anywhere close. I mean, he's silent all the time, but he's been like sulking a bit since we got into town. Yeah, he's but instead of being ahead, he's sort of like behind everyone. And as soon as this conversation, just to Adlo, are you really expecting anything different from those 2?
Hey.
I suppose not, but I believe that the attempt is nonetheless a worthwhile endeavor.
Coral
friends.
is armored.
Hey, friends. Question.
Hey.
Who's standing nearest to Katya right now?
Uh,
Probably
Friend or back?
Coral. I mean,
Probably
Coral's either
Coral
standing
or
next to
Adlo.
Katya or.
Cool. Coral, deck
I
safe.
was probably trying to keep an eye on both.
What do you mean?
Dex.
You heard me. Deck safe.
Okay, I'm not good at those.
Oh no.
Yay.
What are you about to do to Coral?
Roll your
How's
number
a
out.
7 for you?
As you all are
No.
bickering about this,
I got 12.
the camera is looking over at Atlo. I didn't ask you for a deck save.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said everyone standing close to Katya do a dex save.
I was asking for who's closest to Katya.
It's absolutely
What they-
Coral now.
But you know what?
I said Coral
I'll
or
take that.
Adlo.
Don't worry about
It's
it.
Like,
Oh,
Alright,
no,
great.
something's
I'll take
happening.
that.
probably trying to keep an eye
Lightning.
on both of them.
So, as Corey, you lean over and like whisper at Adlo for a bit. The camera kind of settles behind your shoulder for a moment. Coral, you're walking along, looking at Katya, and suddenly, as you guys are kind of moving through the tree line, kind of almost about to break out into like the open sort of clearing space that is Narth, you hear from somewhere above you, "Incoming!" And then something slams into Coral and takes her straight to the ground.
It's a good thing I switched up my Arbor.
Before you can get a handle of what the hell that is, something else slams into Adlo and knocks him prone too.
Oh no.
12 wasn't good enough.
Nope.
No.
In my
You
Corey,
already
like,
know
just
what this
stops
is.
Dead.
As I
Never
said,
mind, I
in
know
front
what
of
this is.
safe distance.
Hello there. Are you happy to see me? Or why are you falling from the sky?
Coral, a head pops up out of your armor for a little bit. They're a young-looking weasel with fur almost not too dissimilar to yours, and a similar mapache of similar fur color is also atop of Adlo. The only difference that you can notice is that where the one on top of you has what looks to be like two small like light blue ribbons tied behind their ears, kind of hanging down almost like ponytails. The one with Adlo has theirs more kind of like a collar about their neck. And the one on top of Adlo kind of pops their head up and just, Lena! Oh, okay. So we didn't aim that one properly. Sorry.
Oh my. Are either
Now,
of you
where
two
did
hurt?
you come from, young one?
He looks at you and like he's about to answer, and then looks over and sees Katya next to you, and sis, and pops up and jumps up to hug her.
I will return the hugging kind.
You are rapidly joined by by the other small weasel, as you are now being hugged by two smaller little ones.
Yes. My younger
Did they make
sibling.
themselves?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll return the hugs and it's like, you know, nice effort, but yeah, no, you definitely face planted onto my friends. Friends, these are my younger siblings. That's Lutrio and that's Lena. Lutrio
As she
being
says
the
their names,
male.
Lutrio
Yeah.
pops up behind her left shoulder. As she says Lena, he pops up behind her right shoulder, and they just.
Corey,
Good thing you didn't hit me.
A really tiny
Would've been
bit
unfortunate.
of weasels right now.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, no, it's a good thing you didn't hit Thag. That would have hurt.
Depends on where.
Lena just like skitters around you for a bit over to Thag and like, whoop, spiny.
That wasn't an invitation.
Spiny indeed.
Lutrio from the other shoulder kind of looks over some. Auntie Sabirka said you were back in town and you'd be here for a bit. We thought we could catch you.
Well, I guess you almost caught me, but what are you two doing, like, all the way out here, though? Well, I guess it's not that far. We're just out of town, but what are you two doing? Was it just a surprise attack?
Lena leans down. No trees in town.
Oh, that's fair. And I doubt some of the taller buildings are gonna let you in anymore.
Not after last month, Lutrio says.
Well, maybe we can work on that.
I mean, Lena just says, I don't know. Mom says we're still off sweet rolls for now.
Truly heinous.
She ate more than me, and there were so many up there! Who just put sweet rolls in the attic?
Wait, they were in the attic?
They broke into a bakery and ate most of the storage.
Oh, I see.
The storage.
Oh no! I understand now. Yeah, I feel like that means there's gonna be even less for the festival.
And they kind of both sigh. Lena says, yeah, Mom said.
Well, so will everyone else who now can't have their sweet rolls.
They both just deflate some more.
No.
To Katya, it's like, you make more sense now that I've seen your siblings.
Oh, you haven't even seen all of my family. This is just a little part of it.
That is a cutting thing to hear in any context.
And it just went right over Katya's head.
Corey doesn't even mean it in a judgmental way. He's just like, yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know this tracks.
Well, maybe we can stop by the bakery stand on our way to the speaker's place, right?
Sure.
They both kind of lean over a little bit and just... We gotta find Furo and get home. We have chores.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's definitely still a lot to do before the festival. I know that we're planning for bigger and better things each year. So
Lena shakes her head a bunch. I'm helping.
I believe in you.
Lutrio deflates some and just, I'm grounded.
No.
How did you get grounded from that?
He got another fight.
Who did you get in a fight with?
The same squirrel from last time. This is all Lena saying this, by the way. As Lena was just like,
Did the squirrel deserve it this time?
called my sister mean. He called me a mean name.
Well,
Sounds
you may be
justified.
grounded, but good on you for defending your sister.
He looks up.
Did you
Kind of
win?
like. He inflates somewhat and kind of like pumps his arms up. Yeah!
And that's all that matters.
I like your friends.
Yeah, they're really cool.
And then Lena kind of leans up and just, well, we should go actually do our job and find Furo, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going?
We're going to see the speaker. Just tying up, so we just did a job, out
You went
there.
adventuring?
Maybe.
Oh, I want to know all about it. You tell me
Well-
later?
Definitely. After, we'll catch up later. Find your brother first.
Simultaneously, okay. And they just skitter their way down you.
Oh, they love them.
They stop in front of you all, turn. Bye, friends! And they take off running.
They seem nice.
They are. They take after, I guess, the more mischievous side of the family. Like me.
Hmm.
You're a good
Which
sibling.
is the less mischievous side?
It'll be time for... Once you get to the festival, you'll find out, I guess.
I assume it's a relative measurement.
Yeah.
On a curve.
Well, friends, since we're entering the city proper, why don't I go ahead and put you all back on our lovely little map of Narth, huh?
Yeah.
North.
Oh, it actually does update you guys' health. That's cool. I'll look at that. I'll tell you about that later. That's interesting. So, as you enter your way back into town, you're easily, freely able to kind of make your way about. You're in no immediate rush to go see the speaker. It's really on your own timing. But if you want to go do that first and then check out people elsewise, that's totally fine. If you got stops to make, let me know. So over to you guys, friends. What's the play?
I know Corey has some priorities, but he honestly might not go talk to the speaker. Like, he doesn't want to be honest. And I'm debating if he really feels the need to. He'll follow the group to the tree, pretty much. And if no one else is going to say anything between here and there, just so you can tell the speaker I'd help.
Or you could come with us.
Why not come tell him yourself?
I don't think I have much to add to the conversation.
No one could chronicle your own exploits as well as yourself.
That's objectively false.
But what substitute is there for first-hand testimony?
You all were there.
But it won't be a complete story without you.
You can just say you'd like me to be there.
We would like you to be there.
Yeah,
See,
I would
that's
also like you to
direct
be
and
there.
honest. Corey doesn't respond to Thag. He's responding to everyone else. Not Thag. He's still mad at Thag. A little. Probably a lot. He is still showing that he is mad at Thag. A little.
Speaking of
Right.
accounts, I believe you took some sketches of that wonderful atrium.
Corey takes out his notebook, and you see that he planned for this. That his personal sketches and notes are at one end. The ones that he knew you were going to ask for are at the other end of this notebook. And there's not a lot of pages between them. Like, this notebook is probably half full. And these pages at the end, he does gently remove them and just.
Oh, no, you can keep them. I've got my own notes, but I figured we could compare. Your sketching skills are, well, far better than mine.
It's really unnecessary for your kind of work. You don't need. And he this is the kind of notebook you can sort of sew it back in, like it is woven in, like those old school ones. So he does take the time to sort of knit the pages back in. But you can see he's done his in perspective. There's shading. It's a lot more photorealistic is the word we use now. It's much more perspective, where it's that's not really necessary for even what he's using these notes for. It's way over the top. He's oh yeah, if it's helpful. He'll just open it up, and if you want to look at him, compare your notes. But it'll take a bit to get him to say anything about it.
Yeah. I think in contrast, Coral's notes are a bit more less detailed and more, I guess, outlines, really. The most important parts of the scenes have been sort of highlighted and popped out. But the reason why I think Coral is incredibly impressed with, maybe not exactly the realism, but just the sheer detail that's been in there. Just, sometimes a change in the lighting can sort of spark more insight.
Although in my head, Coral probably because Coral probably does engineering sketches. In my head, it's oh, she's done the shapes of these runes and symbols, and even the carvings and the symbology, but perfectly flat, you were just looking right at it,
right.
the necessary detail, not anything unnecessary. At least how Corey is thinking of it. He just can't help himself. He's I guess, but yours are clearer.
Different perspectives. Oh, right. We were in the middle of something, right?
I imagine we're walking towards the tree still.
Fair enough.
Right. While Corey's not looking at either notebook, he's looking around if there's a potion cellar, supply cellar. He just wants to make note of that for after they talk to the speaker. He's
Absolutely.
I didn't have as many supplies as I would like.
There's a traveler supply store, which is a combination of literally supplies for traveling, but also supplies common for your traveling. Because North is a pretty insular town, it's kind of like a adventurer's general store, so you can find everything from like whetstones for your blades to maybe even some small blades, maybe a potion or two if it's a good season, you know, like.
Yeah.
So I'd
So
say
he
yeah,
sees some of
but
that, he just marks it.
damn it, Dan. I'll say at this point, you guys
Annoying
pretty comfortably
smile.
have like gotten to the to the tree if you'd like. You know, there's you know, I'll say in general, you do notice that again, one, there are a good number of general stores that you like have a good time to actually like look through the town when you're not on your way out for a mission. There's a good number of North isn't a town where you have like the butcher shop and like the lumber shop. You just kind of have, oh, this is that family store, this is that person's shop, and whatever they have to sell, they're just selling. And so it's, you know, lots of people have like small signs outside even saying like, you know, what they have currently in stock or like some like new things they've gotten in. So you can see, you know, general access to, you know, a couple of things you could be looking for, any like general adventure item you're looking for. But also lots of shops aren't opening because they're like the families and workers opening them are clearly outside and like moving tables and stairs, and even you can see a large stage being set just in front of and under that massive tree at the middle of town. So like lots of people are busy setting up the festival and thus aren't manning their shops. There are still some shops open, certainly.
Yeah, it's fine. Corey's gonna check the hollow in that tree if there's a new message.
Not currently.
Alright, good. The back of the group. Doesn't want to go, but they have asked him to come.
Maybe if you took my devil's I'm kidding.
I didn't need it.
I'm the DM and I'm punishing you for not making a deal with me.
So
You want
Brogan
fun
the
things to
Paladin
happen?
didn't need
Live
your
on
start.
stream.
Anything else? Anybody like gathering up or doing or taking a notice of as you're moving towards the Great Hall?
Merp. Anything interesting on the tinkering
yes.
side?
Not exactly anything like super visually interesting, but Coral, you can definitely see that there's a large caravan wagon being like wheeled in, kind of like arcing on one of the side roads towards the main circle here. And while they definitely haven't done any setting up yet, you can see just by like the fact that it's like, well, not an animal drawn carriage, but you know, there's a rumbling like engine at the front of it that's kind of sputtering as it kind of moves on churning wheels. This is clearly someone from the Tinkerers Guild that's brought some things for them to show in town. So they're probably here for the festival as well.
Aha! Maybe it's somebody I know. I'll come see them later. Alright.
Other things to note. Let's see. Thag. While you don't see, you do see that stall that was being built when you were first going to the Great Hall that has a symbol that looks like an offshoot of your family's crest, but rather than like the imposing hammer figure, it's those two crossed wrenches. You see that stall is now fully built and like ready to like, you know, set up, festival ready. You know, there's no like product or anything out yet, but the stall itself is ready to go. It is thankfully not manned at current.
Understood.
Let's see. Anything else I need to do here? Check. Nope, we're good. Go ahead, friends. Have fun.
Write down my melody.
Nothing for it then. I suppose we should report into the speaker.
Yeah, before we walk in, it's like, so I don't want to tell him that we didn't kill the bandits. I feel like that's probably what he wanted us to do. Direct at Kadia, just
Maybe, but I think being honest is the important thing, and you know, I think they're going to keep their word. They seem very, you know, sincere about how much they mourn the death that they caused too.
I wasn't suggesting dishonesty. I was suggesting I don't want to break the news.
That's okay. I'll do it.
We can always just
If you want to,
report no more
I can do it too. It was partially my fault that we didn't, I say my fault. I still think I did the right thing.
Or we can say no more, no less than what is asked.
Corey visibly vibrates with rage with that saying, I did the right thing.
Just
Not saying anything. Still.
Oh no, we're making him so angry.
Corey, are you alright? Do you need a moment?
Let's talk to the speaker first.
Tag will walk up and knock on the door.
Bong!
As you guys move through the opening, like towards the opening of the Great Hall, you do in fact notice that there are what look like four. I am totally blanking on what the raptors is what they are. They're the bird ancestry that's like kind of hawk-like. They might have a different name, but I'm forgetting. But you do notice four kind of like hawk or eagle-like forest folk with their bows around their back, kind of just standing pretty evenly, sort of in their sort of like outside of the door. They're not blocking the door at all. They're just kind of positioned outside of it and around it. They don't speak to you or say anything to you or acknowledge you in the slightest.
Hello there.
One turns.
Not one for
Do they have
speaking.
recognizable
Okay.
heraldry or like badges or anything like that? Like are they clearly from a faction? Are they dressed the same?
Do I make this a roll? I think I make this a roll.
Okay.
I'll accept like a history. I'll accept a society.
Not in D&D.
Society.
Oh yeah, listen. I'm too Pathfinder
those
brain.
things that we live in.
Entirely fair. History and investigation seem like the ones that would be most, and I'm zero.
I will allow either of those. And I'll let
maybe.
You guys can all roll this. It's fine.
Okay.
I do think it's interesting ask yourself
If you
honestly
care.
if your character cares. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you care, roll. If you don't give a shit, then it's whatever.
Oh, well, then I'll just say that Coral does not give a shit. She's just like, this is interesting,
We get a 15.
I guess.
Oh, it's a 5.
A lot of not giving a shit happening around here.
Yeah.
Here's a little bit.
Oops.
So that's and then Adlo is all we need.
In my
Yeah,
head,
if you want to roll.
Ag did not care
Yeah, that's right.
until they didn't talk back.
Exactly.
Until they were like,
It's
he's
exactly.
Like, who the fuck are you?
The moment he didn't answer, Thag took another look and went, "Who are you?"
Coral's vaguely
Oh,
curious,
great.
but
I'm
does not need
terrible
to
at
know.
both of these.
Yeah.
All right. So, actually, it makes sense that Corey would be the one to recognize them, as you have the most experience with the World and its factions. Corey, heraldry isn't really a thing these guys do, except you can see that they all seem to have an armband that is like white with a symbol on it. The symbol is kind of like a yellow kind of circle with a bird of some kind imposed over it, and then two like oppositely pointing downward arrows or bows with arrows in them. These guys are Gold Sun, part of the Gold Sun Mercenaries Guild. They are a well-reputed group of mercenaries operating within the Endless Wood. Militarized and direct. They get their shit done.
Uh-oh.
I think Corey respects that, honestly. He's like, yep. Efficient, they know what they're doing. Doesn't mean he believes they're always like... And you correct me if I'm wrong in like the vibe. They're not always right or good if we're using that. Like, they're not always aligned with what Corey thinks they should do, but he respects the professionalism.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment to have. Absolutely.
I read the wiki. Yeah.
Take an inspiration. Actually, you know what? I'm not kidding. Take an inspiration.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
I have never clicked the inspiration like box in Roll20, and it's a cool symbol. The sheet we're using, it's like a dragon curled around it. So I'm like, ooh.
Hey, this is the first time I've ever given inspiration in a D&D game ever in my life. It's literally the first time it's ever happened. I've never done it. I never used the mechanic. I've never done it
Yeah,
before.
because everyone
I
forgets.
forgot that was a thing.
Uh-huh.
Same.
Right?
Forgot.
Literally, no one remembers that you can just
I don't
do
even know where
that
it is
at
on the
any
sheet.
time.
Oh,
Yeah, I
there
don't
it
know
is.
where the button is.
So, as you all
Yeah,
enter, as you all enter, one, you'll see that the speaker's kind of like the door to his office is closed currently, but he is in. You can tell because there's someone occupying the secretarial desk out front. And Katya, you know this is like a rotating position. There are different people who like cycle in and do secretary work kind of for the speaker. And funnily enough, the person. Also, I guess before that, you all do notice that outside of the door to the speaker, like not too far, kind of like down the wall, is another one of those raptor people. You can also probably tell they're definitely also Gold Sun, and they're just kind of arms crossed, leaning against the wall, eyes closed, kind of they're just kind of like minding their own business, as if waiting for something or someone. But as you all enter, looking at the secretarial desk, is another Mapache, another weasel. In fact, someone who you've seen already at least once in town. They were a bit busy last time, but they're an older woman. They honestly have a similar color palette to Katya, kind of a little bit, taller and maybe a few more lines of age. It's your aunt. Is she this?
Mhm.
Oh, my dear Katya, and your friends. Hello, come, please.
Yeah, we're back. Auntie, hi.
Oh, she leans up, kind of leans over, gives you a hug, little kiss on the cheek.
Oh,
And just, did you find the little ones? They were looking for you.
yeah. Well, I mean, they kind of found us in a rather
At speed.
unexpected and maybe violent way, but that's okay. They're learning.
The trees again?
The trees.
They've been pulling that on furrow for 3 weeks.
Oh no! And he's just taken it. He has to have done something.
Oh, why do you think he's out looking for them right now?
Oh, see, they left out that detail. I don't think they said that he was looking for them. Oh no.
Because they're looking for him, she says and giggles.
Oh.
I think Corey, under his breath, is like, "That's good training, honestly. I did that as a kid. Get chased."
Yeah, that's like
See?
I remember playing that game when I was young.
Yeah.
She kind
Get your
of tilts her head a little
sibling by surprise.
bit, tilts her head a bit and just, oh, where are my manners? I don't believe I've actually met your friends. Sabirika Mustelia. Pleasure to meet you all.
Corey will shake the hand to Corey de Clement.
Thagrius shrubs, and he'll shake the hand too.
Coral,
She takes it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
loved to meet you.
Adlo Tamoya, the pleasure is mine.
She kind of leans down and takes your hand. And
Shakes it rather earnestly.
Adlo, do you wear any obvious symbols of your order on you?
Let's see. Does the Oathbound have like a crest or anything, or like a back?
Yes.
Any kind of like a symbol of identification or something?
Yes, actually. I can remind you of what it is as I'm going to look back at the article now because it's been a little bit. But yes, they do actually. They do absolutely have a crest that they use. It's not in the article, but it's in my notes here. It's basically a symbol like what looks almost kind of like. How do I explain this? It looks almost like a figure of some kind of obscured by a hood, but there's like clearly like a light shining behind their head. It's very like stylized and minimalist almost, but it looks kind of like a hooded figure with a like sun shining behind their head.
And then I think maybe like the clasp of Adlo's cape is perhaps engraved with that symbol of the Oathbound.
As Sabirika shakes your hand and just, oh, another Oathbound. Aren't we lucky?
Another.
She
Is someone else from the Order present in the town?
She saddens a bit. Was, sadly. They lost their lives in the last bandit attack.
Yes, I was told.
They were a friend around recently. Showed up around maybe about a half a year ago. Were offering lots of help and even came around the family house once or twice. Looks over at Katya. Your brother loved him.
I know, they were tight.
To give
And,
aid to those in need is our calling.
She says, indeed. It's a shame that the world we live in is one that often takes such people from us. let's hope yours is a safe journey.
I will endeavor to make it so.
Well, I thank you all for keeping my little niece safe, and I trust your adventure was fruitful?
Oh, she kept us safe.
Oh, you know me.
That's my little firework. Well, the speaker has been waiting for you all, even though he's not taking many appointments for much time, busy with the festival, so go right on ahead in and let him know.
He's not busy.
He's paperworking right now and working on that, but he specifically asked me to let you all in the moment you got back.
Corey will bow respectfully and follow his friends in. He's not going in first. He doesn't want to talk. He doesn't want to be here.
We dragged him.
We did drag him in here. That's
He's too
fair.
edgy for this.
Alright, who has the highest charisma? Otherwise, Coral's going to.
Is it probably me?
Alright.
Maybe the warlock or the paladin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sitting at this
Well.
+5 over here.
Somebody better to
Ah,
talk
damn,
first,
plus
'cause,
I'm sitting at a -1.
No! Coral.
Do you, I feel like Corey has a sense of who is good at speaking amongst his newfound friends. So he will be, like, in the back, but I do think he's going to do what he can to subtly, like, step in front of or prevent Thag and Coral from being the first to speak. He's like, we need this to go well.
It's definitely a good idea.
Otherwise, it'll be foot and mouth.
Because Thag's gonna start talking if nobody does first.
So this is what Corey has done. Corey opens his, like, notebook to one of the sketches they hadn't had a chance to look at. To Coral's like, can you review this? And then, like, just puts a hand on Thag and, like, not the dad, like, on his shoulder, not the dad grip, but, like, the closest approximation that Corey can make, because he's just not that kind of, like, aggressive or physical. He's just like, he's like holding him back a little bit. So he's trying to distract Coral and gently imply to Thag he should not be in front.
Oh, speaking of Thag, that wonderful hammer of yours. Can I take a look?
Yeah.
Later.
Wait, yes, you should let him,
Later.
like, right now, actually.
Oh my god.
It's like,
They just stay out the door, like, looking at that.
I mean, if
Well,
you
no,
guys
he's
want to, like,
letting
just
everyone
go
in.
on
He's
ahead.
trying to
Yeah.
quiet.
If you guys want to go on ahead while, like, because Coral's absolutely just going to, like, start, like,
Beat us
literally poking at Thag and just be like, but.
Okay.
And what?
You stand
and those
behind
runes.
me, and you can do that. We gotta talk to the speaker.
Okay, but the runes! They were amazing! How
propose-
did you get that effect?
I propose this is happening as we enter, so that the other two can take it. Initiative.
I
Oh my
imagine at this
God.
point Coral is
Like,
actually hanging
social
from the hammer.
initiative.
I don't know. It's my hammer. I don't know what happened. There was some magic. Listen, we gotta talk to the speaker, please.
Okay, but, like, can I just, like, Coral is, like, going to start climbing you at this point if you don't stop her.
Thag is just gonna walk in, like, not
Yeah,
even
that's all.
no change in his stride, just still with the hammer over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hammer over shoulder, and Coral is just, like, face buried into the inner, like, just, like, is, like, buried on
Just
the
like a pendulum
hammer.
swaying off of it.
Yeah, and hanging.
Anyway,
So, as you guys enter into the office of first speaker Chirmatal, he is again, as described, just kind of like leaning over, kind of a hand on his large cheek, and just scrolling through with a pen for a while, but sees you all enter and just the people I was hoping to see, and in one piece. Please come in.
Yes, we are. Yeah, and Katia will march right in. She's very comfortable being in this office.
Word. So,
like being in your principal's office after you graduated.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, what's up? Like, no
yeah, no,
problem.
absolutely.
You have
You
no
all-
power over me anymore.
You all step in, and he kind of like leans back somewhat and just, I am sorry for all the fuss. We're all a bit busy with the festival, obviously. I do hope you all stay in town for a while, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful news. I trust it's not the only good news you've brought.
Yeah. Although I do have, sorry, quick one aside question. Who are all these like people like standing around the Great Hall? All these new folks.
Oh,
The Golden Sun
this.
mercenary?
Oh, the Gold Sun. They've been in town for the past little bit. I think they're just looking for
Oh.
a job. I've seen them over
Oh.
at the guild hall, but there's some outside my office. They are likely hoping I can ask them. They're hoping to ask me for some work. Maybe I
Oh.
can have them guard the town or something. We'll see.
Maybe. I don't know. It was just quite a few of them. That was just, I don't know, new. I haven't seen them here, I don't think.
They are certainly a bit of an interesting lot, but their professionalism is noted.
But yeah. Okay. So anyway, good news. Yes, we have good news. So we solved the bandit problem. They are no longer going to be bothering the city of North.
Oh, wonderful! You sent those vermin running. That makes me very happy.
Mm-hmm.
We did indeed.
And their leadership. What of them?
They will no. They should. We do not believe they will give Narth any more trouble.
They're also running. Turns out they're maybe more scared of the people at the very top than anything else. And if they knew that, there was a problem here, they would go after them. So they were way out.
He
Well, I was
leans
trying
back.
to avoid mentioning that directly, but
He leans back somewhat and just, I see. Interesting. How did you achieve that?
Well, we actually found a little bit more of common ground here. They didn't really like, taking advantage of the people of the town. That's not really something that they wanted to do as a first or even like as a very last resort. But, times are hard for everybody, including us. I mean, I think you can understand that just as well. But, when we found kind of that common ground and they realized that, they're making everybody here worse off and they're also worse off, they, agreed to leave.
Can I, maybe roll some insight or something? Corey wants to know, is Mr. Speaker happy about this? Or is he, looking a little more upset as that explanation goes on?
Insight check.
Yeah, that's a thing I am good at, usually. Oh, that was the wrong button. Sorry. Oh, come on.
What?
Oops.
You know what?
Also, remember, friends, call out your
natural
numbers.
two.
I am, in fact, going to say I used that inspiration to get that 23.
All right, I'll allow it.
Damn.
Easy come, easy go.
Listen, you gotta use them bitches, all right?
Yeah.
So, he's keeping a very, very diplomatic, he's handling this very diplomatically.
Yeah.
He's not like looking like outward like, oh no, or anything like
Yeah.
that. There's a notable furrow in his brow as he's continuing on, and his tone seems to have dropped maybe a quarter of an octave or so.
I do think then before, waiting for Kadia's explanation to finish, but he will, as much as he didn't want to be here to talk, just, we did kill one first to let them know we meant business.
I see. Well, I am certainly glad to hear of all of your safety. That is the most important thing here. I thank you for your assistance, and if you speak with my treasurer after the festival, I can assure you that you'll be paid well for your time.
Your generosity is great.
Was there more you had to report? I know there has been questions about the three little ones that were traveling with them. Are they well?
They are well. They have actually
They were
been
being cared for.
taken care of better than I think anybody would have expected. They were put first.
I see. Interesting. How multifaceted people can be.
Yes, just like that. And Coral's just going to pop right over the hammer.
About to say hammer, aren't you?
Just like this hammer, but also, did you know that old hollow? Do you know what that place is? It was amazing. It was mind blowing. It was. I'm sorry. I'll leave my enthusiasm for.
It's a bit past the limits of the explored wood. I've heard tales and rumors of there being ancient ruins there, but, well, those are a dime a dozen in this land of ours, so hard not to not write those rumors off. You sound as if you've made some incredible discovery, though.
Well, those rumors, which I may have been chasing for a little bit, are in fact, well, they're not rumors. Let's put it that way. Would have liked a bit more time to
Interesting.
explore, though.
That sounds as if you... Well, I'm no archaeologist, but you sound as if you've made some groundbreaking news.
Might help your tourism industry.
Well, I have enough things on my plate right now, but if you're around post-festival, let's discuss it further.
Of course, of course. Sorry, just this hammer's incredibly fascinating.
He leans down somewhat and just, I take it your friend's a tinkerer then.
Mm-hmm.
And incorrigibly curious.
Let's see. How do I handle this? Michelle, roll me a d6.
Oh dear. Okay.
Just tell me highs or lows.
Alright, I will roll a d6 and I'm gonna go with highs because, you know. Oh, 6.
Perfect. As he mentioned you being an explorer, he just... Are you perchance from Forgetown by some possibility?
I am in fact from Forged Town, yes. It's just an incredibly distracted sound, like looking.
That's a fun coincidence. A caravan arrived from your home not long ago. I believe they're here for the festival.
From Forged Town, you said?
Indeed.
Did
He kind of fluffs his... Sorry, go ahead.
do you happen to know who was with the caravan?
Kind of fluffs his jacket somewhat in a bit of a proud manner and just... Not to tout the impressiveness of my town or anything, but it's not every day a festival is visited by the prefect. Which, yeah, you know exactly who that is.
Mhm. Right.
Oh, how obvious is it that Coral is distressed? Like, I want to know, as a fellow player, like,
Yeah.
I think Coral is like sort of like brows for like is definitely like has slowed down on like poking at the hammer and
so no
has,
poker face at all is what I'm hearing.
yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's not maybe not incredibly obvious, but you're close enough that you can tell Coral is not particularly happy about this news.
Feels like it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Described.
And out of curiosity, where is the prefect staying?
I offered him some accommodations at a local family that's away from town for the festival, so he's not too far from the center. You'll likely see him around the festival.
Ah, I see. If you wouldn't mind, I would like to surprise the prefect. So if you could.
I have dinner with him later. I'm sworn to secrecy.
Many thanks.
Aside from politics, was there more you had to offer from the Old Hollow?
There's that, and then Coral already mentioned the runic thingies. Yeah, I think that was it, right?
Well, once more, my congratulations for a job well done. You've the free reign of my town for all you need, and again, if you all will plan to be here for the next evening, the festival would love to have you. Katya, your mother has been around. If you happen to find her, please give her my love and regards, and tell your brother that I'll be looking forward to our sparring matches later.
Always.
Speaker can handle himself, right? That's not character, but just like, okay, Speaker can handle himself, okay.
Listen, he's been around the block a little bit, you mean, you know?
That's fair, that's fair.
Now, not to kick you all out, of course, but I do have other things to do, and I believe at least one other person waiting to see me. If you could, have your aunt send them in.
Okie dokie.
You all headed off?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Before we leave, I'm gonna pull Corey aside and just ask, hey, do you have a spare cloak or something I can use?
Do I have a spare of them?
Oh,
Any
Magic
kind of
cloak,
cloak.
knives and darts and arrows that... No.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I'll just...
Here. Corey doesn't have a cloak, but clearly you want to just cover your face, right? Like you just want to be not recognizable.
Wait.
I am in a giant... Coral... Actually, at this point, Coral's like, okay, if I can't get a cloak on, I will take off my goddamn armor.
Well, Corey will, like... He has, like, a sash underneath his belt, and he will just, like, remove that. And it's pretty sizable. Like, you could make a whole shawl out of it, because it goes around his waist several times, and he's not, like, wide, but he's still bigger than you. So, he'll, like, offer that as, like, you can at least take off your armor and cover your face, and you'll be mostly unrecognizable. Unless someone is really familiar with you. And he's hoping he gets to learn a little something by your reaction from that, but...
Is she only talking to Corey?
Yeah, I imagine we've left the office and while we're still in
Yeah, I think it's like in the atrium, right? So like you can probably hear the
you guys
conversation.
are right there.
Yeah, you guys are right there.
Oh man, like Katya would 100% be able to help, but if that's just between them, like I'll let it be.
I mean, this
Fang has very little tact, so he's gonna straight up ask somebody you're avoiding.
Oh my god! No,
I'm gonna try and make this clear because, like, Corey is again a little mad at that. He's like, "Yes, we're just talking about the prefect from the." And then he's gonna stop talking and just start walking away. if Coral takes the sash or not,
Coral will give just. Thanks, sweetie. I don't want to talk to him right now. Or ever, actually.
Corey has
If at
already
all.
left.
Oh. It just like
If you
looks
grab
up at
it when
Corey's
he's leaving, but at that outburst, he's just leaving the building.
You know, that's fair. Maybe we can talk about that later. I feel like I should probably go talk to Corey. I'm gonna go do that, and Thag will chase after Corey.
You guys are all making your way out. Katya, as you're passing out, of course, your aunt waves to you. I assume you let her know that the speaker sent the next person in.
Mm-hmm.
She'll nod, and as you're all passing, she'll look over and just, "You can go in now. Apologies for the wait." And the raptor will lean up off the wall, roll her shoulders, give a low bow. "Thank you." And the femme voice coming from them, and she'll step into the office.
Looks so serious.
Before we depart, would you mind telling me where the member of my order was laid to rest? I would like to go pay my respects.
I mean, if Katya, you would know that the
Okay,
Narth's,
I would know. Okay.
Yeah, you would know. You 100% know. Narth's sort of like main public graveyard is actually not too far. It's basically at the back end of the Great Hall. So map-wise, it's.
I mean, this was directed at her aunt, but or as
Oh.
but
I know, that's
sorry,
what
then
I understood. I was like, ah.
I sorry, I totally misrepresented that. That was my bad. Then yeah, she'll just lean up and just around the hall actually is the town's graveyard.
you have my gratitude.
Of course. So, sounds like we've got Corey and Thag trying to catch up real quick. We've got Adlo off around back to go check out the graveyard. That leaves 2 of y'all. What's the plan?
Well, Coral, if you need a little bit more help, looking like you're, not who you are right now, I do have this handy-dandy disguise kit.
Starts fucking pulling out masks and wigs and shit.
Yeah, dude. Is a pouch of
Glasses
cosmetics,
with the
hair
nose
dye,
and
and small
mustache.
props that lets you describe
Yeah,
or
Fur
disguise
dye.
and changes your physical appearance.
yeah. I feel like there's a lot of fur dye and fur extensions and the disguise
Like
for
it's,
the forest
it's
folk.
sunglasses and a
Yeah.
baseball cap. The MCU classic.
But it is a single mole that you put on your face, and it
Yes.
stops anyone from recognizing you.
The princess tiara from Sailor Moon.
What do you mean? It's a completely different person.
Yep.
Clark
well,
Kent's glasses. That's it.
thanks, honey. So Coral's going to take off her armor and pack it up. It slides neatly into segmented plates, which is nice, so it stacks pretty easily. Wrap the sash rather comically around her head. Or actually, I think Coral's probably just gonna use it more of as a
Like
I guess, like,
shawl.
yeah, as a shawl, and then don't mind if I do, and dig into the to the disguise kit.
I do have proficiency in using the disguise kit.
If you'd
too.
like, you
Alright.
know what? You tell me. What does Coral look like now?
No. Hold that, please. But
Okay.
also hold the roll on that. I think it's gonna be more dramatic if we have it roll when it's relevant, or if it's relevant.
Okay.
So hold on to it. So we'll say you 2 are working on disguising yourselves. Adlo, you're off towards the graveyard, and you know what? Let's do it the simple way. We'll say Thag and Corey highs, Adlo lows. It's a 2. Adlo. You're headed around back, and you see, Thag running after Corey, and then they seem to be catching up not too far by the tree. You don't see where Katya and Coral made their way off to, which possibly concerns you a bit, but you'll deal with that later. And you make your way over towards, the sort of like a small fenced-off grave area. And there's a couple of different, raised sort of small plinths and stones and sort of small statues and things like that that clearly represent different departed members. And you can see what looks to be like a roughly hewn, almost kind of like half ovoid stone that comes out of kind of hewn so that the face of it is a bit clean. And then carved into it looks to be, there's something carved into it. You can see flowers around it. Some ancient, and at least a few that look brand new. Well, not ancient, but some older flowers and some that look brand new. There's only one other person in the graveyard right now. And they're standing by that grave.
Adlo will go up and uncharacteristically silently stand by them by the grave and I guess begin offering a silent prayer.
You walk up to what looks to be, I guess, are you looking at the person at all, or are you kind of just focusing on the grave right now?
I guess I'll look at them to see if it's anyone I recognize. But
Nah, not someone you recognize. I don't think so. It says it's.
then, as I arrive at the grave, I focus.
Yeah. Then, you take a moment. You offer your, you have anything specific that you want to say? You want to say that would be like your, your rights you pass on, or do you want to just kind of like narrowly say you offer some rights? Totally fine, by the way.
I offer some rights.
Perfectly fine. You take a moment. You sort of take a single knee and make the sign of Galwin over your chest and close your eyes and offer your last benedictions, offering this parting soul, safe passage back into Galwin's embrace, and thanking them for their service. And the figure next to you doesn't say anything while you do this. You look and see that carved into the stone is not the paladin's name. Actually, it doesn't seem like that they carved a name in. A rough, sort of, I guess, simulacrum of the symbol of Galwin is imprinted at the top of the stone, and beneath that are a bunch of other names that are scrawled in. Most you don't recognize, but you definitely see a couple, like, you see, and excuse me one second, I gotta make sure I got these right. You see, like, for example, like an I Mustalia as an example, and you see like a couple other different names. Clearly, these are just different people around Narth, perhaps people whom this paladin helped, or who felt like they were a part of their lives. At the very, very bottom, though, kind of very roughly scratched in awful handwriting, you can see 3 names you definitely do recognize: Tani, Taylor, Ajani. It's the 3 kids from the.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Upon seeing this, Adlo lets out a slight silent chuckle to himself.
You know him?
Not personally, no. Did you?
Yeah. Did.
What was he like?
Kind. Very kind. Bullheaded. In that irritatingly sweet way. Kind of person who would offer you something and you took 7 tries to get him to maybe say no. And even then, you were probably still leaving with it. Thoughtful. Bold and strong. Had this brave face he put out to the world like nothing could scare him. Like he could stand in front of a mountain and break it down with that hammer of his.
Hammer?
But under that, there was a softness, a sweetness, a gentleness he only showed to people he cared about.
It brings me comfort to know he could uphold the virtues of Galwin so exemplary, in such an exemplary way.
I think he'd be happy to hear another one of his members say that. So, I appreciate it.
Thank you for telling me about him. I am Adela Tamoya.
Yeah. He turns and looks down, and he looks to be honestly kind of like a more fairish looking, almost, with a bit of a mask pattern about his face. He has what looks to be like kind of like a saddled shorts on that have these sort of straps around his torso and waist, and has like a short sword strapped to his hip and a bow about his back. Foro Mostelia.
Stalia? Wasn't that one of the names that was written on the stone?
It's also Katya's last name.
Oh. Stalia. Are you perchance acquainted with one Katya Stalia?
He looks up. My little sis. You know her?
I've found myself informally charged with her protection.
He puts a hand on your shoulder. My condolences.
Largely from herself. As
Sounds
I'm sure
about right.
you know.
You, in town for the festival?
Indeed.
There's a little bar. They probably have a stand set up. I don't know if you drink it all, but he had this, fire wine he enjoyed. I don't know. I don't know if you... Maybe you check it out? I might be there later.
I may take you up on that. I know I may not look like it, but we Oathbound are a rather hardy bunch.
Don't I know it? Yeah. I don't think you want me to be alone tonight. Or I guess that night, I should say, sorry.
Sorry, could you say that again?
He says, I don't think you want me to be alone that night. And he does lean down and kind of put his hand on the gravestone and press it a little bit.
We offer protection to any who need it. And succor and aid.
He smiles a little. You sound just like him. Funny how that works.
With what you've told me, I think I would take that as a compliment.
Well, if my sister's in town, she's up to no good, so I might as well go find her.
I suppose I should do the same before something explodes unexpectedly.
I had the same thought. Kind of turns over and puts together a little bit more. But next time, my love.
I see.
You'll see that he now has at least one more flower in his hand that's the same as the ones that have been freshly placed in front of them. And he'll put that last one down with a soft kiss on it first. And then kind of stand up and put his hands in his pockets and go walking.
He was lucky then.
He chuckles as he walks away. And I think we'll leave that there for now, huh?
Sure.
Meanwhile, over by the great tree, Coriander, you've managed to shuffle away and get mostly to yourself. What's happening? What's going on with you?
Corey, I don't know how clear it is to other people because again, like so much of him is covered by this just big cloak and hood, like sort of by design. But if you know him, he's clearly like he left not because necessarily he was angry, but because he was flustered and like had an outburst. And he's like, I just need to get away from people. So he is now in like the darkest like shadow of this tree that you can find in the middle of the day, and he's put his back to it, and his notebook is up, and he is sketching something from memory. It is Sylv and Tala, the bandit leaders from the last episode. It is a specific moment when I think Tala was handing Sylv like this soup, right? Or the stew. And you can see that I imagine that when his emotions are high, his sketches get more, I don't know, like dramatic and flowy and less like visually perfect. And he is doing the environment and he's doing their poses. The guns are like in high detail, as are the weapons on Tala, but their faces aren't. Like, it's basically a vague direction. Like, he can't decide what direction they're facing or what their expressions really were in that moment. And he is taking these like quick notes to the side of it in this shorthand that, unless you're a member of the Order of the Moon, you wouldn't be able to read. And it's like he can't decide which of these two he's doing, as he's just kind of like frustrated with himself at this moment, I think. Sorry, we're memeing in the group chat. Just
so
for the stream to know, that's why we're
That's why we're all laughing.
And it's
We're
so
doing-
good.
There's a bit of meme
Don't worry,
going on.
don't worry.
It's true.
But yeah, that's I think
All
where
you
he's
need-
at.
All you need to know
That's
is the Palpatine meme. Just the do it meme. That's all we're doing.
We're gonna do it.
Anyways,
so
that's
stupid.
Corey even has the big cloak too. That's oh, he's leaning right into it on accident. Anyways, that's sort of where he is going in this moment.
Well, assuming Thag can find you.
Oh yeah, it's in the middle of the day. I don't think he's really hidden. It just makes him comfortable, less uncomfortable.
It's not summer, is it?
It is in fact called. Yeah, I mean it's kind of like later summer. Yeah.
It's in the middle of the day. I don't think he's not overly hot. He's just the cloak is like cool enough. He can't find a dark enough shadow right now. I don't think is the bigger issue.
You're telling me. Never mind.
Corey, do you mind if I sit?
His shoulders drop. He's go for it.
There's a loud thump as Thag will kind of drop the hammer and then proceed to sit on it. I can't help but notice that you're maybe a little mad at me.
Observant as ever.
Do you,
I'm so sorry, Lucian. Corey is this way. I don't want to be this way.
No,
Sorry.
it's fine. It's fine. It's great.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about it? Feels like we're probably going to be stuck in the same group for at least a little bit.
And he does like the big sign. I shouldn't have snapped. It's not my place to be upset with you.
It's okay. It's not a big deal.
He gets a little more mad at that. It's like, no, it's not about you being unobserved. I can understand. Not everyone is as much as I. It's not about today. And he like searches for the words, like he puts the pencil down. He still hasn't finished like the expressions or faces of these two. You are given such trust by your family, and you don't even think about it. You don't consider it. You just gave that trust to someone you barely even knew. You're not worried at all of how that might blow back on your family? It's not my place. And he doesn't know how to continue from there.
Well, there are a lot of rules in the Shrubs family. And I think I'm a pretty laid-back person, but most of the rules are there for a good reason, and I do follow them. Most of them, at least. That trust is hope for a better future, is what it is. Not everything that we do needs to be so grounded in the moment. Not everything needs to be so realistic. Sometimes you can aspire to be... You can aspire to an ideal.
Corey just have to search for the words a minute and just... I get breaking the rules. You've met my brother Baz, and I love him to death. He's not a rule follower by any stretch of the imagination. And Corey does, like, more seriously, and then does look, like, at Thag and says, he wouldn't put us in danger, his family, on an ideal and a hope. At least I hope he wouldn't. Break all the rules you want. I couldn't put my family in danger of someone I don't know.
Well, maybe next time I can show you, but many a Shrub's adventure or story starts with a coin. And yes, there have been losses, there have been what some consider to be mistakes. But if you ask any member of the Shrubs family, past or present, if they ever regret giving a coin away, I think you'll find very few will say that they regret it.
Corey's not a good liar. And you can see in his hood, especially because you're like lower, and he's not trying to hide anything here, and clearly like tension leaves him, and he's just... You'd know better than I how this story is likely to end. I just hope it's one of those happy endings. Or at least an interesting one, and not a sad one. Hell, maybe Baz will tell a story about it someday in one of his songs.
Hopefully, after all, that puts me a third of the way closer for having to return home.
I swear he's got two about one of your uncles. Or someone in the Shrubs family.
Oh, I'm sure, especially given our proximity, that there's been. I'm sure there's a couple of Shrubs stories floating around. I'm sure there's some that you don't even know are Shrub stories.
And unless there's like more to this scene, I think Corey's clearly opens up more and is going to just like sort of chat about. Oh yeah, no, he actually had to like leave home originally because he just didn't have more material for story. Like he'd already farmed everything for songs in, around the Clement Inn. It was just a whole thing. And I think, especially here with Thag, someone that he's kind of known since he was a kid a little bit, like in proximity again. He's a little more talkative than he has been in most any situation. And as he's talking, he completes the faces on these drawings, and they are not like conniving or sneering. They are probably more accurate to what actually happened of them like sharing a genuine moment.
Yeah, Thago. I mean, yeah, they're just chatting.
Yeah.
I like to think that they're kind of talking about home in a way.
Yeah.
He's sitting on his hammer, kind of leaned back against a tree. He'll pull out, not to meme it up too much. He'll pull out a little figurine.
Mhm.
He'll take out a little pot of ink, and he'll pluck a spine out, and you'll see he starts dipping it in the ink and starts like working on the lines, working on the edges of this little figurine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a back and forth about like just like the choices that you're making in that, and like the sketch. I think that might be something they would almost share a little.
Yeah.
Your lines aren't even. It's weathering. Shut up.
Yeah. Corey would generally be like, he would never say, "Oh, your lines aren't." He's like, "Oh, I wouldn't have made that choice." Like it would be that sort of.
And you can tell this is. You can tell that this is something that Thag has picked up, not as much because it's something that he finds like that much interested. This is something that he's picked up to work on his like fine motor skills. His hand is shaking a little bit, his tongue is sticking out the corner of his mouth.
Yo,
He's
honestly,
there concentrating like,
you hear that war game players and painters? Be more like Thagrius over here, all right? paint badly. Be willing to grow.
Yeah.
I say, looking at a fucking mirror.
Corey is being sassy. I agree with Foxy. I take Washburn on this show. Agree with Foxy. Do it because it's fun, not because you're good at it. Come on.
But
Well-
most importantly, just do it.
Fucking goddamn it. Well,
We will
as
never
we
stop.
as we see our two friends work with their model, and we cut back a bit from the large tree, back towards what looks to be a window up towards the Great Hall. Friends, I would like you all to gain an inspiration, as I'm going to give you guys a bit of a cutscene. As we go into... As we go into the Old Hollow, or sorry, excuse me, as we go into the Great Hall of Narth, and through the window, looking down at, looking down at, a few of you gathered up around the great tree, is High Speaker Cheer Matol, who is standing with arms behind his back and looking out of the window. A bit of a soft but distant, sullen look on his face. Behind them. If I figure it correctly, you can't blame them, High Speaker. They're kids. Not all of them are really going to understand that. Yes, but if they were to know, I fear young Katsuo would look poorly upon me. This is understood? Of course, discretion is easily possible. Just 2 targets, yes? Just the 2. There are 3 little ones with them. Ensure at least some are alive to care for them. All right. Your price is fair and the bargain's done. Move out this afternoon. We'll be back after the festival. I thank you. She turns, walks out of the room. Forgive me. And with that, we're gonna give ourselves just a bit of a break. See you guys in a little bit. And we return to the idyllic scene of the town of Narth, still busy and flourishing as the days pass towards the oncoming Harvest Fire Festival. Friends, I have a simple question, which I'll let you all do in whatever order you feel appropriate, except for one. What do? How do you pass the time over the next 16 or so hours you have in total, including some rest, of course, before the festival kicks? Is there anything you want to investigate? Anything you're looking into? Anything you're doing off course? What's the plan, friends?
I can go first, because I think Corey would do this pretty much immediately, as soon as he and Thag are no longer doing art hour together, I guess.
Yep.
First thing he does is, especially because he probably leaves Thag, like, under the tree, and he doesn't want to start dropping secret notes while there's a person right there, is he goes and gets some health potions. He's like, I need the literally life-saving potion, if I possibly can. And I believe we talked when you weren't here, chat. I find two at just like one of the local adventuring general stores, or at the local.
That's the Samuelson shop. Samuelson seems to be the family who owns this little establishment.
Okay, so yeah, the Samuelson shop, and it is as quiet as he ever is. I think he takes his hood off because that just seems polite when he's going to be doing business with someone, and just 2 potions, please. Hands him the coins. Like, that's it. Minimum social interaction for this.
Leans over. Lucky kid. Only 2 I got. Places 2 kind of small flagons in front of you, and you be safe out there.
Of course. Internally, it wasn't luck. I could see that those were the only 2 potions you had. I can identify that at range. He's not. And then
You can't fool me.
He will write a report to drop off and, like, secretly watch it till Thag leaves to then drop it off in the hollow of the tree. And I think he does specify what happened with the bandits, like also what, like, Adlet was going to do, like, asked him to do, of, like, not kill them, and, like, told them to leave. It's a pretty detailed report because he understands that the more he can put in as to who did what, the more they can make connections on, like, a broader scale. And specifically, also the speaker of, like, the speaker wasn't happy that we didn't kill them, it seems. And then at the end, as always, just more to report later. And he'll drop that off.
Absolutely.
As subtly as possible.
You were able to stealthily slide it into the hollow of the tree. The town is busy enough with motion and commotion that no one seems to be noticing it too intently.
Yep. Yeah, then he'll spend time just sketching, wandering town. He doesn't know what else to do with himself.
Anybody else have any urgent ambient tasks they're taking care of?
Yeah, so Thag is going to send a message to the family. He's going to call the nearest rift mole.
There's a
And
nest hanging not too far outside of the gates north.
he's gonna write out a little message. Something along the lines of, first coin given away. Former bandits, Talon Sylv, plus, small group and children, blah, 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 blah. Keep an eye out in case they show up at any, family businesses. Provide them with work. And besides that, he's gonna, walk around, offer his help. Anybody need help, setting up their stalls for the festival.
Oh yeah, a
Really
big guy like
quick.
you, easily helpful.
Really quick, I don't think that we've described what rift moles are on camera.
You're right.
That is a good point.
Thank you. So let's actually
What
briefly
does
just
that look like?
well, let's quick scene that real quick. So Thag, you kind of step yourself outside of town, and there's a distinct sort of shape of kind of like collection of mound you'll see. They're kind of usually about like 3 or 4 small kind of holes clustered together in like usually off of dirt roads or like in kind of places that are usually not too hard to get to. But if you aren't looking for them, you won't really notice them too well. But you are well trained in looking at them. There's a particular call your family has gotten very accustomed to making. It's a bit of a low kind of thrumming whistle, kind of in the back of your throat somewhat. As you kind of walk up and make one, it takes a little bit to wait, and sometimes they don't always answer. But eventually, The holes themselves seem stagnant and not moving, but next to them, a small little purple circle sort of flashes into existence against the ground, and a little sort of almost like deep, like sort of silvery black furred mole pops itself up out of it. Looks over, sees you, pops back in, the hole disappears. Another hole appears on the ground next to you, and it pops back up.
Hey there, little buddy. Got a parcel for you to carry.
It kind of chitters melodically and holds out its both with hands.
Not a large one. You'll pull out like this little piece of paper rolled up into a tube. The usual delivery place.
He'll kind of put both hands on the ground and kind of like do like a bit of a back kick. It's just like this kind of back half pop out of the portal, and there is like a small satchel attached to like the back of his hip. It takes your paper, places that in the satchel with some others, and then back down the hole.
Always wondered what it looks like when on their journey through the void.
For the audience, rift moles are a native creature of the endless wood. Like so many other that aren't sentient, they are innately magical. They, in this case, able to tunnel through dimensions. It seems.
Like that implies sentience is magic. Like I really enjoy that implication.
Your magic is mental anxiety.
You fucked up a perfectly good rabbit. Look at him. He's got anxiety.
What do you mean? That's like their base state.
I cast
You know what?
social
Fair.
anxiety.
Their
My Little
default
Pony
is
sentience
stress.
is magic.
Fair.
Adlo, Coral, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Yeah. Adlo's probably looking for either Koro or Katya, and just kind of like Thag, offering help to anyone who needs it as he's wandering around town.
Oh yeah, both you and Thag are easily able to find yourselves useful. Mostly just simple manual labor. People need help moving lumber and moving other signs and helping get their stands ready and stringing up decorations and banners and things up across the town. So it's a lot of just a lot of setup, a lot of things like that. People moving product from their homes and their stores over out to like to their stands and things like that. So lots of things help here or there, and yeah, they're happy to have the help. Adlo, you easily find Coral. I'll let her tell you where, and you can figure that out. You don't see Katya anywhere, though.
No.
Oh no!
How will I tell her that I met her brother?
We'll get there.
I guess
We've
that
never seen
leaves
or heard from again.
Coral. What is Coral doing? Coral has gone to find Corey and make sure Corey has a good time, because Corey did not look very happy when they disappeared.
That's fair but annoying.
Okay, but you might like this. I imagine this kind of like the scene that Adlo walks in on is Coral kind in her disguise. I will let Katya explain what that looks like whenever it becomes relevant. But Coral just like tries to very, very, very badly sneak up behind Corey.
Corey
Yeah.
allows this to happen.
You find Corey
It's like
by the old tree, hanging out sketching, and you, funnily enough, can see Adlo not too far.
It's like how lions pretend like they've been scared by their cubs. he's trying to encourage stealth, I think, actually. He's like, this is a fair attempt. Yeah.
Boo!
That was pretty good, actually. That's as much of a reaction you get.
You're much better at this than I am.
Hmm.
So, how was your talk?
Personal. It went fine.
Y'all are the
Good
fucking
even.
least subtle collection of idiots in the entire Endless Wood. Y'all have a collective -2 social tact.
Okay, Coral has a -1 to charisma.
Fair.
What is this tact?
So does Corey. But I imagine that, like, yeah, Coral does give him a look, which is why he keeps offering more, and then another look. He's like, personal, fine. It went well. I am no longer angry. Is that what you want to hear?
I'm glad.
Ah, that's
he
most
goes-
fortuitous.
Where did you come from?
I think he wasn't aware of that. He vaguely knew there was a person there, but he's like, oh, that's Adlo, huh?
Where did you come from?
I was thinking about being like just characteristically just loud and like,
Yeah.
ah, that's great to hear. Just startle him.
Horrible.
A single ear twitches slightly. And just... Yes, I'm glad it went well too. And he's leaning back against the tree to keep sketching. Just people as they pass by.
Right, well, I don't know about either of you two, but I've been here before, and I think we should scout out the best place to view the fireworks from. They are quite the
Sounds
sight.
like a fun time for you.
Well, okay, last time I may or may not have been exploded outside the city gates before I could see the festival, so, you know, we should find a place.
Somewhere high up and far away from people, from anybody else who might be at the festival.
Yep, that, exactly, yeah. You know, plenty of tall trees, and, you know, we can get a good vantage point of the whole town. Yeah.
Dan, if it pleases you, I think that Corey looks to Adlo, and I feel like they don't have to say anything to be like, she'll probably need help scouting, like, an appropriate location. And one of the two of us is better at that, so Corey has to go, and you probably want to go. So Corey goes, yeah, okay, let's find someplace. And I think it should be entirely up to Michelle. Where do we get dragged in our journey to do this? I think this is entertaining. Coral sort of decides everywhere we go.
Okay.
A little bit.
I think what happens is so Coral starts to is going to start heading towards the opposite direction of wherever the heck that family house is, but then immediately gets distracted by the grand storehouse.
Oh,
I think eventually we find a place that is good for the fireworks, but after many distractions, it seems like the vibe and things to see and stuff. Helping people with random things.
it's the best spot you're gonna get is that there's actually a pretty good looking tree not too far behind, kind of like over here-ish, actually not too far from like the Mastelia household. Over here they're busy doing some festival setup. In fact, you actually can tell that there appears to be what looked like some of the Mastelia family starting to work on set up, arkings and structures sort of for their firework display. So it's a bit busy over there to get there now, but if y'all regroup during the festival, y'all can absolutely get up there and get some good views. So, as the three of you get spirited away to go look for spots to view the fireworks, one member of our crew appears to be a little absent. As Katya, you found yourself with a little bit of free time after helping out Coral with her disguise, and realized you had something to go off and do. So where are we finding you right now?
I mean, probably, looking more or less to see where she can help with the, whole, firework situation and whatnot, with the family, because, she takes a lot of pride in this. It's she's like, this is the reason that the festival, isn't just good, it's great. So, since she is, present and here, able to help make that happen, she's probably going and doing that.
So you end up back at the household for a brief bit. You can see that they're starting to work on the scaffolding and some things like that. In fact, you might even notice that you can see a couple of your friends running along and doing some things in the process. And your parents are occupied, obviously. Neither of your parents are around the household because they're probably in town helping with some more important things right now. But eventually, a cousin does sort of ask you if you don't mind running up to the old lumber yard. There's an extra scaffold they built for one of the finale arcs, and they do make sure that somebody's gonna go drop it off. So if you can just run over there and like ask them when they're gonna drop it off, that'd be great.
Yeah. Easy
Well,
peasy.
yeah.
I'll go do it.
You were able to skirt and kind of almost make your way back down the road you guys came in, except you kind of hit off a bit of another paved road off to the left and kind of curve westward and end up finding yourself by the Old North Lumber Mill. It's this one of the older buildings in the settlement. It's this sort of large, almost sort of like, art structure where there appears to be several rope pulleys and gantries made to make cutting large trees and things easier. There's a couple of stumps around nearby, and it's mostly empty because you can tell a lot of people are probably in town, but there's at least one or two crews there who see you, immediately recognize you, and give some waves, obviously. And one of them just kind of like picks their head up and is just like, "You come by check on your family's thing?"
Yeah.
We got a couple of guys waiting in town. I think they're walking on some woodwork before they can come back in, and they'll probably end up hauling it down. Give us, say, an hour tops.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Thanks for passing it along, kid. And, well, with your job done, you're free to run back if you need to, but if you have anything else you'd like to do while you're out here...
I mean, since I'm in the neighborhood, I kind of do want to see my friend.
Yeah, so...
Little hand.
Katya, you used to run around a lot out by the lumber yard, kind of out in the back, and play with some friends and run around. And in the middle of a hiding game once, you found this little almost like gully you could duck down into and slide through. But you super misjudged the slope. You missed where a rock was, and that rock came loose. And you didn't slide very far, but you slid and then rolled a little bit further than you did and landed on something soft. Grass, definitely. But you found yourself in this strange spot, and it's that same spot you find yourself navigating to now. It's... the best word for it would be a bog, almost. There are trees that kind of hang and lean, and some of them kind of sloop low and dip their branches. The light comes through very limited and spackling this deep into the wood. There is this fog about the air that's always there, but it's shimmers slightly. The air kind of charged somewhat. And strewn about this place, not necessarily everywhere, but as you move through the grass somewhat and push apart a bit of a bush, you see, similarly to what you've seen before, this patch of rolling, almost purplish blue fungus. It shimmers slightly, glows, and doesn't necessarily move, but has this life to it almost. It's been a bit since you found this place, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do as you enter?
I mean, I feel like Katya would very much greet this as like seeing an old friend again and then just catching up. And like, even though these guys, like, there almost is kind of a co-consciousness to it. Like, these friends like know what has happened to some extent. She's going to regale the story of everything that has happened.
Mm-hmm. As you sit amidst the bog, recounting the tales and talking through what's happened and all the things you've seen and done over the last few days, the new friends you've met, and how it feels to be back home, you can kind of feel a slight tingle at the back of your brain for a brief bit. A familiar one, certainly, not one you're unused to, but this close to them when you're not only using your own connection, but sort of speaking so presently amongst them. It's much more recognizable. And you hear not that sort of dissonant chorus of multi-layered voices before, but several voices all condensed and layered and harmonized perfectly as they speak in a nice, even, lilting sort of lullaby almost. Friend. Hello.
Hello. I found you again.
It is good to know you are safe.
Well, yeah, I mean, Tell you what, you all are a really big help in that.
You can hear a sort of rumble echo in the back of your consciousness that almost bounces and phrases kind of like laughter. No, you are growing very strong.
Well, I kind of hope so. If I, want to go farther out and everything. What do you think? Do you want to see
They-
out there?
Again, you see that, you feel another rumble that's not laughing like, but is slow and echoes in your mind for several long moments. We feel everything. Understand everything. To see the world through you is new, beautiful.
Wow, I can't imagine understanding everything. That sounds like a lot.
They give another rumble, another third rumble, that this time starts off low and then dips lower. And it's sullen. Friend, there is pain in this place.
I can feel it too. Recent pain too.
All around there is pain. So much. It hurts them.
Who?
It says something, but it's the strangest thing. It says something. It presses something into your mind that you would understand as words, but it doesn't sound like anything you understand. You feel like they said something to you, but it just doesn't register. It gives you this certain feeling in your chest, though.
I think it's a thing I don't understand again.
There is much for you to understand. We fear some of it will be frightening.
Well, if everything was, unfrightening, I guess that wouldn't really make it an adventure.
There's another soft, almost lilting rumble, definitely higher pitched than the last one and less filled with that same sadness. You are a starlight in a dark evening. You are firm roots beneath soft soil.
Well, that's a really nice thing to say. It's like, she's not blushing, but it's just, oh, shucks, Yeah, like, oh, stop it.
You flatterer, you.
There is pain, friend. You must soothe them.
Well, I'll certainly try my best. I mean, and you all have my back, and my other friends have my back, and I think it'll be really easy.
We, all of us, will be watching you. Till next time, friend.
Till next time. I hopefully won't be too long.
They give a sort of almost buzzing in the back of your ears that kind of slowly feels like it races kind of down your arm somewhat and feels light. like an embrace. Before you part, Katya, could you give me an investigation real quick?
Oh no, I'm bad at that. I'm
Also, let
gonna
perception
try.
happen.
What?
Perception's also fine.
That's not any better.
I'm trying, babe. Okay.
You don't put
I
anything
know,
into
I
the
know.
2 noticing skills.
Yeah, exactly. That's not.
Imagine
that's
being,
not
imagine being aware. 8.
8.
I think 8's
No,
more than
she's
nothing,
not
right?
aware.
Better than nothing.
It makes
You can
it
always
makes
use
sense that you.
your inspiration.
No.
That's
I
the
think
point.
I think
No, it's
I think
okay,
you're fine
it's
here. You're
okay.
You're fine.
I need to
You
use it
only-
on important things.
You only feel like you just now noticed this, Katya. It seems like the bog might have grown a bit, gotten a little bigger. There's a bit more of that purple-blue fungus kind of growing up some of the older trees here and kind of spreading a little further out. But otherwise, you're free to pass and part and head on back towards your fam.
And I'll do that.
Sounds solid, friends. Well, if there's not anything else urgent, I think it sounds best, friends, that we pull ourselves back in after an evening sun sets and a night's moon passes, on towards another day where the morning sun rises once again. And the town of Narth seems seemingly a little bit more alive than it was even yesterday. People active and buzzing around and busying themselves. And as the noon comes and goes, everyone seems just a bit more likely to offer a hello or pass a compliment about one's state of dress or say something about the weather. Seems like there's a generalized joy about this place. And for my friends who have not been to Narth before, or maybe even for friends who have been to Narth before, it seems like there's a fair number of people here. You can see more caravans and wagons and convoys and groups arriving, and town square is much more full of life to the point where normally you can just kind of freely walk around. It's required a little bit of squeezing to get from place to place. And yeah, the Harvest Fire Festival brings people from all across the Endless Wood. You recognize dress as far out as Dyesvale, Ishamir, Forgetown. People are here from everywhere, it turns out. Which leaves the question, as the noon passes and the day moves off into an afternoon, light yellow and bright orange painting the sky, as the sunlight begins to become just barely less than enough for everyone. All around Narth, fires come alight, atop braziers, amid lampposts held in handheld torches and lanterns. The whole of the town becomes pockmarked with millions of little red stars. Everyone erupts into cheer as everyone lights their torches at a singular moment, beginning a yearly occasion, the Harvest Fire Festival. There is everything you think you could find here. Food and the smell you've never experienced before, mingling all about your senses. Song and dance from all across the lands. There's workshops and warehouses flung open with products lining the shelves. People with wares and clothing and trinkets and exotic crafts from all across the realm. That tinkerer you were looking for, by the way, Coral, their wagon, at like the side of it, the wheels themselves kind of have seemed to like they flipped on their sides and then rolled open so that the whole side panel of the carriage just splits open and just has a lit up display full of all of their gadgets and trinkets they've made. It's honestly kind of wild. They have like a small little speaker playing a little like musical loop on too. They're really going above and beyond this year. You do recognize them. You can give me a name if you'd like later. Don't stress it too much. But otherwise, it's a hell of a party, friends. There is the whole of the town is present. Houses are emptied and their doors locked as everyone is out and about in the town, in the streets, in front of their houses, at their stalls, laughing, celebrating, passing torches. In fact, a part of the Harvest Festival is as someone's torch, if their candle or torch or whatever they have goes out, if you see a brazier go out, you relight it. You're supposed to pass over your torch if you have one and make sure that person keeps their light. Everyone has a lit flame with them for the festival. It's simply a requirement. No matter where you are or where you're from, when you enter Narth for the Harvest Fire Festival, you are guaranteed to be around a warm fire, at least for the night. That said, my dearest darlings, where does this warm fire evening find you all? What are you up to? Where are you engaging? What's interesting? What draws you? Are you together? Separate? Tell me how it's going. Make my job easier for me.
I can always go first unless someone else wants to.
Talk to me.
So, one, I think Corey did dishes to pay for his room for the night. Like, his family runs an inn. He knows what needs to be done at an inn. He does those things to get a room in the inn. He'll take, like, sleeping in the kitchen if that's all that there is. And he wouldn't mind at all. Secondly, I think that as the festival is built up, Corey's going to try and reverse psychology Coral a little bit and find Coral on purpose and try and see everything with her so that he can slip away right before the fireworks and it won't be a problem. Because he is still a little worried and paranoid that if the bandits happen to have been lying, that during the fireworks is the perfect time to ambush the town. And he wants to be in whatever spot in the forest based on where they're at that he thinks they would advance on the town from. Like, he can't let that go. He'll still find, like, a good perch in a tree to see both, but he needs to be in that space.
All right.
So that's kind of the things he is doing right now is probably with Coral trying to, like, go with her and see everything so she's not missing him later as much.
Okay, let's social now. Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah. As a side note, if he only had a candle, would that be seen as appropriate, or would someone still hand him a torch? Like, I kind of...
Candle's fine.
Yeah, then he has a candle.
You also don't have to be personally holding a fire. It's just that you should be around one, basically.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to stand out by not having something.
Totally fair.
Yeah, it's... Actually, no, sorry, are there lanterns? Like, could he buy a lantern for cheap here? Like a
Absolutely.
Lantern that he could take with him later, even.
100%. I don't even think it's a matter of buying one. I think that you can find, like, there are a couple of places where folks are just giving them out. You know, there's small little, like, paper ones that, you know, don't, like, they're not going to be good for, like, travel. Yeah, they're not, like, travel lanterns at all. Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. But it's, for the festival, it's going to serve you perfectly fine.
He might look for a travel lantern later, but that's a whole other thing. Yeah, he'll have, like, a paper lantern then, like a small one.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
That leaves the rest of y'all. So yeah, in that case, Coral, where are you up? What are you up to right now?
What are the things you want to see?
So I think kind of like Corey, Coral also has a lantern, but this is one that she made herself and has just lit it with her own little tinker ability, so it's got light in it.
Behold, kerosene!
I mean, hey, she casually carries around gunpowder, who knows?
Although, now this is just me, the player, asking you, would Coral actually want something that's super flammable and explosive considering last year, or is she like, I'm trying to play it safe so I get to be here for the fireworks and do the magical tinkering light instead?
Yeah, she's doing the magical tinkering.
She's avoiding all play.
there is a section in there where you're supposed to put things like, you know, gunpowder or some kind of, or like oil or whatever, but it is magically lit this time.
Coral's like, see, I'm behaving.
Behaving this time. Look. It's fine.
Corey is still attempting to make sure torches don't get too close to Coral's person because she still probably has gunpowder on her. Like,
fair enough. Yeah, she kind of smells a little bit like gunpowder actually. So
that's not always great.
What? It's in a sealed pouch. It's fine.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
I'm aware, but it's around somewhere.
Nothing go wrong.
It's in one of these pockets.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's what the bandoleer's for.
All right. So yeah, you two are just kind of like, you know, plodding around, looking for anything in particular, or just, you know, plodding around, seeing what's around.
If there's a darts game in particular, Corey would want to do that because that's just something he's good at. He's like, yeah, I'll do that.
There absolutely is, actually. There's a bit of a throwing game. It's not a dart. It looks like, it seems like it's actually a bit of a excuse me for 1 second. Corey, you might have possibly seen these before, but maybe not. It doesn't take you hard to figure out what they are. There's a bit of looks to be kind of like a it's almost kind of like a thrown boomerang, not like a big boomerang. It's a curved kind of angled blade that you kind of hold on one side and then toss. it's pretty native to a lot of people from like towns like Shayport and Erso over in the Floodlands. And it's often used as like a skill game. So people are kind of like throwing those at like a wooden board.
I think Corey is familiar with it, partially from that, but like a few members of his order who are being stylish on purpose actually weaponize this because it's the shape of a moon a little bit, and he thinks that they're gaudy for it, but he's like, sure, fine, man. So he's familiar, and yeah, he's gonna try and win. Like, he is more competitive in this moment than you almost ever see him. It's like, oh, but this is something I'm good at. Oh.
Give me an don't do that right now. Yeah, sure. Give me an attack roll.
Sure. And I do think, if it pleases the GM, the bonus action get advantage because I'm not moving. Like, he's try-harding this.
Sure, why not?
So 23.
23.
That's why.
Corey, you walk up, and because people can look at you and tell you're not from around here, and Coral obviously because you're traveling with him, you can see there. Actually, you know what? What? Real quick, is anybody else also here for this for the dark game?
I do think, ironically,
I don't think
Corey's
so.
outfit makes him quite noticeable in a crowd, despite him normally being not visible everywhere else. So you would notice him if he was passing by in his big fuck off cloak.
Fair enough. So Adlo Thag, now you're off doing your own thing.
I think I'm nearby. Yeah.
Cool. Fair enough. So Corey, I think as you and Coral walk up, they can definitely tell that you're not from around here, and so they kind of they start doing a thing they definitely do for new people a lot of like they're clearly showing off like how strange the blade looks and how hard it is to throw and how you can't just like throw it straight. You have to apply a curve to it. You can see like there are definitely people who are like throwing it straight and it's not working. And there's the guy running the game is like kind of like rolls one between his fingers and like takes it and then throws it and it hits right off to the side and he's like, and then kind of like hands you like a set of 3 of them. And if you will, I imagine it's just like you put all 3 between your fingers and just kind of like flick it. And it's just like perfect line. And he's just like, huh.
Corey, just very gently. I know a guy that can do 6 in one hand like that.
Get good.
That's him trying to be a little humble of like, I'm not that good.
Exactly.
It's like someone being like, I'm not great at Smash Bros. Because I know people who play professionally. Like,
What? Like it's hard?
Okay, buddy, fuck you.
Right? He's trying to be humble, and it has the opposite effect every time, I think.
That's so funny.
Amazing.
So, Coral, I know you're obviously also mentioned you were present for this, so you're obviously around and watching, Corey. You see, like, there's a bit of like a cheer that kind of happens around as he kind of like scores it solidly, and you can see that actually someone next to him is kind of just like, outside of that,
The wrist.
yeah, it's on the wrist.
Flick.
Flick of the wrist. Sorry. So. I apologize. I should be better. Adlo, Thag, or Katya, one of y'all tell me where you're at.
I think Thag has stopped by the whatever the shrubs booth is to say hi now that the festival's ongoing.
Yeah, you find a bit of a portly hedge, not too sort of like manning. This looks like to be like a kind of like basically like a effectively looks like a traveling repair service of like if I'm in your town and something's broken, I'll fix it. And like to the point where like his display is just a set of all the tools he has available at his disposal, and like people are like walking by and he's literally just like, sir, over there, if you don't mind, I think if you like your mallet over there, loose head. Let me get that real quick and like tighten it up somewhat and just like, oh man, if you don't mind, I think it's like randomly just like going around and being like, oh, I've seen you. You run that shop over there. That window you got this loose. I'll be by tomorrow. And like he's literally just like selling how well he can fix things effectively. And he turns you back over. He kind of looks over and sees you twice and just, oh, since my hedges around here, you seem like I know you from somewhere.
Oh,
With the
yeah, just a distant relative.
He leans over and just, and Thag, I should have this memorized because I know you told me them, but I forgot. What are your parents' names?
Ooh, I don't know if I ever.
I was gonna
had-
make one up.
My family document for this game.
I was gonna
Ooh.
make one up, but I was like, I think you might have given me one, and I forgot.
I don't know that I did. I think I might not have.
Then I'll make it out. You know what?
Joked about it at some point, and then we didn't.
You know what?
this time.
In the moment the guy goes to say a name, he goes, don't think too hard about it. Just, I'm a Shrubs. You're a Shrubs. I think that's good enough. It's a festival.
He's a shrubs. We're all shrubs.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. He sticks a broad hand out and just. Fair enough to me. Put it there, cousin.
Dag will shake his hands. Good to see you.
Hearty handshake, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Like, real firm, round the elbows, strong
Yeah,
clasp,
yeah.
and just like. How long you been in Earth?
Just a day or two. Thought I'd stop by for the festival. Turned out they needed some adventuring done. Helped out with that, and don't know where I'll go after this, but so far festival's been fun. How about you?
Oh, taps the booth, plying my trade. A lot of people here from a lot of places. A lot of wagons need fixing, so figured I might come on make a show for myself. Like the booth?
It's a good-looking booth. What do you?
You're fine.
Got a pretty wide variety of tools there.
Well, the motto is there's nothing I can't fix with enough time, so figured I could back that up.
I applaud the dedication.
Kind of puts his hand out, kind of like leans over for a bit and just adventuring, huh?
Oh, I'm on that family expedition thing.
He indicates. Well, you got the hammer.
Yeah, I gotta make a name for myself and all that. I'm taking my time with it though. No rush.
Yeah, well, there's never any rush until it's too late, so. Tell me, if you don't mind me asking, cousin. How's it feel? Like, in your hands? What's it weigh like?
Find out for yourself, and Thag will hold out the hammer.
He'll take it and just. Oh, yeah! Certainly a weighty piece still! Ugh. Hands it back to you.
That's the family hammer for
ya.
you.
Back with one hand. That's so good. Just, yep.
Crazy work.
He just looks at you and just kind of sees that you clearly just took that question literally and is like, yeah, you're still figuring it out.
Can bring you a drink, but I think it's time for me to make my rounds.
I mean, for the fireworks, we'll toast one.
Sounds good. Thag will wander off.
Safe wins at your back, cousin.
You too, and he'll kind of wave a hand over his shoulder.
I'll let you pass off and do your thing. Anybody else anywhere interesting? Look up, please.
If that was anywhere close to the darts booth, I do think Corey would have attempted to overhear the conversation and might even just come up behind Thag and if he heard any of that and just so.
So?
How did it go?
How did what go?
Pointedly looks behind them, then back.
Oh, we had a nice discussion about.
You getting the hang of it?
The hang of what?
I think that's why he said that. And gives him a pat on the shoulder.
Well, time for more food and drink.
Fair. If Coral wants to come along, but I think it's now these three, just what food is there? Games have been had.
I think depending on how, not take over anymore, but depending on how much food and drink there is, at one point, Thag is buzzed enough to where he will Giant's Might and start juggling people.
Who will
Absolutely.
let him do that?
God.
I
Like,
don't know if they have
any-
a say. in
100%
that,
should
do
happen.
Any children that want to volunteer for like being thrown in the air, Thag is like,
We know at least
come on,
3
come
who
on.
enjoy jumping off of trees.
Yeah. The moment you enhance yourself, several, like, you're sworn by little ones who are like, wait, what?
God, it just reminds me of all the memes of like boy dads versus girl dads and how boy dads like are throwing their sons up in the air. That's all I can think of.
Oh, you're so right. Oh.
I take watch when we put a hat down and see who just tips him for that. Corey is just nervously but amusedly watching. Is like, how long until he drops one?
But yeah, no, Thag, there's a bit of a crowd of people gathering up around you. Definitely little ones who want to be tossed around, and even some adults who are just like, I'm sorry, what's happening right now? And eventually, people start kind of like clapping to your juggling rhythm, kind of like making it a bit of a game almost. And yeah, it seems like you're gathering a bit of a crowd around you.
Yeah, and after a minute, it sadly does run out.
It's not long.
Yeah, after about a minute or so, you do have to like, you do kind of like mid-juggle just poof, back down, and then several kids collapse on top of you.
I think that's it for me for today, guys.
There's a lot of
In my
clapping,
head-
people are giggling.
If it's Spark Show, I think that Thag is experienced with, if someone is falling on me, I must get on my back so they don't get impaled. So I do think he gets small, immediately falls on his back and catches them. Like, not
Absolutely, yeah.
catches them on purpose, but it's like,
100%. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Sounds perfectly valid.
Corey will clap.
There
Corey's
is
impressed. He'll clap. That's
fall on your stomach for defense, and fall on your back in every other situation.
The Hedgehog's Creed.
Exactly.
Back for friend, stomach for enemy.
Trump family trait number 1. Land on your back for defense. Trump family's heritage number 2. Land on your stomach for every other reason.
Yep.
I think that the other shrubs says that when it happens. It's like, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
shrubs technique.
100%.
That's my boy.
Corey makes a note.
Okay. Adlo,
We've had fun.
what are you up to, boss?
The bar should be right next to the juggling.
We can just keep the camera panning. Why not? We've gone from dark game to juggling to, we can go right to, however you want to do it, boss.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I was probably gonna wander around a bit. Maybe also doing some of the Carnival games, trying my hands at like if there's like an endurance-based one. Instead.
There is a handstand competition.
Alright. I can do that.
Yeah, give me either athletics or acrobatics.
Alright.
I think I know which one he's good at.
With
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Fuck it. I'll use the inspiration.
Okay.
I want to be good at game.
With the 10, Adlo, you hop up, and there's a couple other people who are up on this little platform with you, and it's not a stable platform. It does rock a little bit, so you have to kind of like rapidly find yourself adjusting. You go up on one hand, and people, you see like a crowd go like, oh, like you, as if like you're about to fall over, but you kind of like hop a little bit, and then land back down, and the crowd erupts into applause. Of the 4 people who are up there with you, a Gerbine off to the sorry, not a Gerbine, a Mapach off to like the left falls off first, tumbles over into like the hay, and everyone like laughs and claps. There's a Vulpin off to like off to the right, who is also like, you can see them struggling for a while, and they actually, their tail comes down and brushes their nose, and they sneeze and fall over. So that knocks them out, and it's just you and another another Mapache just kind of holding themselves up for a while. Eventually they kind of look at you and start kind of showing off somewhat, like doing push-ups, coming up on one arm for a brief bit, and you hold it for a good long while. And I think right at the last second, as you're like, oh, this is getting really hard. Oh, I can't hold it anymore. You fall, he falls, you hit the hay a second and a half earlier than he does. So technically you lose. He stands up, the crowd erupts, he leans down and helps you up and gives you a big firm handshake.
Ah, ha, ha, ha. Ah, well fought, well fought.
Hella fun, sir. Appreciate it.
Happy to have given you such a challenge.
Come back next year.
Perhaps, perhaps.
Anywhere you headed from there?
I think from there I'll head to.
So, I assume you mentioned you're hitting like the bar you were referred to?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not hard to find. It's basically in the main plaza of Narth, kind of off to one side, and it's much more like an open kind of like stand with several different like stools put around in front of it. There is a Mapache, another weasel, who is kind of like, like mixing drinks for people, and they have this bit of a trick they do where they'll kind of like work on a drink, put it in one hand, work on a drink one-handed, and then put that drink in their tail, like on their tail, and then do another drink in one-handed, and then kind of hand out all three. Everything they do it, people go wild for it. And you're able to kind of find yourself a bit of a spot. It's a little crowded because, people want to get the drink on. It's a festival, obviously. But you can find a spot pretty easily without too much trouble. And it doesn't take long before you kind of see, like, someone kind of wave your hand, saying somebody. You can see that Fudo's over there.
I go over to him, I guess.
Howdy, about time you showed up.
I was detained briefly.
Sounds like my sister, all right?
Adlo doesn't say anything.
Always you.
Correct.
He sits down somewhat and just, come on, sit down. A pair of fire wines, please. Really appreciate it. That you're being kind of like, again, like already has three drinks in their hand, one of which is the fire wine because they kind of this one is going out everywhere. They hand that one out, pick up and kind of like pour another one, spin that one on their finger, and then pick up another one and kind of place the two spinning ones down in front of you two. They twirl a little bit and kind of like lay it out in front of you. Furo gives it a couple claps and just show off.
Tremendous technique.
So, 2 Oathbound in North in 1 month feels a little, let's say strangely coincidental. Any reason you're traveling around this way?
I do believe I mentioned I have tasked myself with the protection of your little sister, and as well as one other. And we happen to be coming this way, and they happen to want to come here for the festival.
So I assume you'll be traveling with them when they leave?
They are still under my protection, yes.
It's a shame. Kid's never around enough, you know? I'll say how much she's not around, but he kind of looks left and right. I miss her sometimes.
Perhaps I'll pass that on in
My
a way
ears are
that doesn't
burning
implicate
somewhere.
you.
Katya sneezes.
It's ear twitch. He'll lean back somewhat and just... I took up adventuring thinking it would get me out to see the world. Kill that wanderlust inside of me for a brief bit. And yet, I keep finding myself wanting to end up right back home.
I can understand the feeling, to be sure.
Where are you from?
Dicevale.
Huh. Not too far south.
My mission takes me to various places.
Yeah. Guess you could say mine does the same, except usually the place I end up or whoever's paying me the most. He looks around for a bit. You know why they do that? He kind of points over. As you can see that one of the torches in the right side of the bar has gone out, and someone's already grabbing their handheld one and leading over to relight it.
Enlighten me.
How dare you?
They say that.
It's horrible.
Does he mean it as a pun? I know Dan does.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Who knows?
Neither
He
of
leans
us
over
know what
somewhat.
you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He leans back somewhat and just. They say the Savage Age ended with the founding of towns. North is the oldest town in the Endless Wood. This is what some people say. Some people say it's Salsmith or Forwin, but specifics don't matter. Point of the matter is, this place is one of the first places where after an age full of fighting, an age full of warfare, people came together and said, enough. Let's just make sure everyone's okay for a bit, as best as we can. It's community that holds us together. It's about the people around you, the ones who matter, who you wake up next to, who you work for and argue with, care for and worry about. That's what makes the journey worth it. Makes the adventure worth it.
A noble aspiration and sentiment.
For most. For most. Can be evil though too. Some people are willing to go to drastic lengths for the people they care about.
I suppose so.
Maybe they aren't wrong for it. That's bigger than me.
I don't know if I can judge, to be honest with you.
Well, if I get my history right, whatever thing could have judged us left from here a long ass time ago.
I suppose so. Now, I know your sister is quite research inclined. Do you share her passions?
Kind of looks around somewhat and just similar enough. There's a lot out there. Fun things to see, interesting people to meet, daring adventures to have. As a kid, it's all I ever wanted, so took up the sword and the bow and figured I'd go find it.
And what did you find?
Leans over and a real complicated world, full of some very uncomplicated people.
I suppose sometimes simplicity is worth striving for.
Picks up the fire wine. I'll drink to that one.
Cheers.
Tosses it back and just. Oh. Now that that's in me, I'm gonna go find my sister.
Do make sure she stays out of trouble. It'll be a load off my mind.
Yeah, I'll do your job for the night. Enjoy the festival, yeah?
And the same to you.
He stands up and kind of says, "Hey, one more of those for my friend, huh?" And kind of passes off and sets off.
Before you depart,
Huh?
I never asked. What was his name?
Relaya Tamain.
I'll remember it.
Appreciate it. Turns and walks off. And I think that only leaves, speaking of which, Katya.
Me,
What are you up
everyone's
to?
saying I'm getting in so much trouble. I just want to eat pies. I'm just entering the pie eating contest.
but-
You mean
That's right. I was
people.
going to enter the pie eating contest.
Yeah. I mean, it's not too late. But
not too
Katya
late.
wants to do the pie eating contest, so that's what she's gonna do.
Hear me out.
Absolutely.
How many of us actually are doing the pie eating contest? Because I feel like almost all of us are going.
True.
You're all welcome to do the pie eating contest.
Corey will watch the pie eating contest.
I mean, Thag is there. He's down to eat pies, absolutely.
Coral is part
Yeah,
of the
Not
watching
like, how many pies can I eat? And I'm like, free pie.
spectator.
They're doing the pie eating contests in like rounds, so you can kind of like get set up to contest. And so as they kind of bring you up, Katya, you get set up and like you sit down and at a stool with a couple of like pies put in front of you, and they're decently warm and like kind of already feels like like a soft cream, but you hear a stool shuffle behind you and a big kind of thump sit down as Thag sits down next to you.
Yes!
Hey,
Bye!
the festival's been fun so far.
See, I told you all. It's like nothing else.
You think you're gonna win?
Oh, I know I'm gonna win.
Oh, that sounds like a challenge to me.
Speaking of, the seat next to sort of like I guess to the left of Katya is suddenly also taken. As Adlo, you managed to top off your fire wine and pop over.
Katya's just like excitedly
might actually
bouncing at
be
the
a
fact that her
challenge.
friends are joining.
Corey is ready to make a drawing of all three of them as they embarrass themselves eating too much.
Coral, are you
Okay,
going to
anyway, we
join
can
in embarrassing
all
yourself?
Corey
Yeah,
to the table with us.
Coral
He's not. You will not.
Definitely not.
is not going to be joining them. Coral will be that one embarrassing friend who like sits at the very front and like screams your name to cheer you on.
Oh, that's perfect.
That's not embarrassing, that's wholesome.
Perfect. That's so perfect.
It is.
Okay,
I love
for my
this.
3 competing friends,
Okay.
I need Constitution saves.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that's what I do.
Do it.
This is gonna actually be bad.
Let's see.
Oh dear.
Joe, Adlo with
20.
the Oh my god!
You know what? 13 is not horrible. I thought I was gonna
Oh, not at
that
all.
one.
So yeah, let's
so
contact
there's-
the third. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's you 3 and 2 other individuals. Looks to be like I'm gonna say Servin actually, who is standing nearby, and kind of sat like sort of like to the left, to the right of you, Thag, and then to the left of you, Adlo is another Drubine actually. So there's a horn sound from the conductor, and you all just start devouring, just start shoveling down as many as you can. There's like maybe about 15 or so pies placed in front of you all, and you just start devouring as many as you can. Katya, you attack this with vigor. You're like, okay, I cleared that first pie, no problem. Second pie, got it, problem. Third pie, fourth pie, ooh. My stomach was smaller a few minutes ago. And you power through, you get maybe about 5,
You can do it!
6.5 pies in. 6 3/4, you're like, I can't fit any more pie in me. And you just,
I'm only full of pie.
but again, in a similar manner to last time,
50%
just before you put your fork down, the other Drabine puts his down first and is like, oh. And so you just and take one more bite and then put your fork down. So technically you aren't last.
Very neatly.
not last.
Go, Katya!
The servant, who has been like genuinely kind of like slowly kind of like cutting pieces out of their pies and eating them slow, so they're not going as fast, but they go for a while and get maybe about 7 or so pies in before they kind of like pause, sit back for a moment. They don't put their fork down though. They sit down for a minute. And then as they look at their pile and kind of like count out like, okay, about 11, they look over. Adlo and Thag are both at least 9 pies deep each. Just fucking shoveling fucking dessert into their face. And she just, this isn't mine. I'm not getting this one.
Yeah.
That's not happening. Puts hers down and just looks. The crowd is yelling. At this point, everyone is, like kind of like sing you push. Adlo, you're shoveling. You both ran out of pies. You're both done. You eat all 15 pies. And everyone is flabbergasted. The host is like, well, it's normally a bit of an endurance thing, but I suppose that means it's a draw.
That was a good pie.
And just, would you like another?
I'll take one for the road.
Certainly.
It's just-
Appreciate it.
I know. Let's have it once for our contestants, and everyone, takes another big huge round of applause. And Katya, as you're coming down, of course, you see everyone is. You can definitely see Coral whooping for you from the front. Just to the left, kind of off like the left of stage, as there is, you can also see two other familiar faces who are cheering their heads off for you. One of them is pretty tall and kind of stands out for her height. She looks to be a servant. She's kind of timidly clapping happily and yelling for you. And the other, who's shorter, but you can see because she is hopping about as high as she can and yelling your name, is, well, looks to be about a relatively squat-looking Fowler's toad. As it looks to be your two friends, Ro and Lily.
Yeah, oh my gosh, as soon as I see them, Katya's, running out and giving them the largest hug.
Mm-hmm. Lily grabs
for that
you
conversation.
and... Sorry, go ahead. Nothing, go ahead.
Just I wanted one small, Corey just behind the other two, Adlo and Thag. She's like, well, Adlo's smaller, so I think he should win. Just giving Thag a little bit of a hard time.
Oh my
I think
God.
I just like the moment we leave that on.
By technicality.
Yeah, by percentage, he is more pie.
True.
Katya,
Sorry.
Lily grabs you and just leaps up as high as she can, spins you around somewhat and lands and just, oh, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you!
Me too, I'm so glad to see you!
Ro comes up and kind of puts hands on both of your shoulders and just,
Mm-hmm.
It's good to see you home. I'm glad you're safe.
Yeah, it's good to be here. I have so much to tell you all. Oh my gosh.
I kind of look around and just, well, there's at least an hour or two before the fireworks, and I assume you're helping out, so
Oh, of course.
would you want to grab a snack and chat?
Yeah.
But first, are those your friends?
Yes, I have. Oh my gosh, you need to meet my friends. just take both of them by the hand and just be excitedly
Okay.
dragging them.
And yeah, gang, you watch Katya approach, dragging behind her a servant and a toad.
Friends, meet other friends. This is Ro, and points to the servant. And this is Lily, points to the toad.
Hiyo!
And this is Coral, Adlo, Thag, and Corey.
Kind of looks around and just
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
looks back between Adlo and Katya. Is he always like that?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Holds out a hand, shakes it.
Well met.
Yes.
Ro just kind of
Wait.
nods.
Corey did a polite bow when his name was said, but that's about it. You can see him become more closed around new people.
They kind of actually, you know what? I gotta roll for a thing real quick. Finish introductions if you'd like to. Okay.
Okay.
No, go on. Go on.
What
Introduce
does
yourselves.
that
It's
mean?
fine. Go on. Introduce yourselves. Go on. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Ominous.
Ominous.
Like,
for sure.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Ro is honestly maybe not that much shorter than you, Thag. So they're kind of looking you eye to eye. But Lily kind of leans up and just, wow. Some of your friends are tall.
Mhm.
Coral, do you want to say hi or anything?
I think Coral's just gonna give a very, almost infectiously happy, flamboyant bow. Nice to meet two of Katya's friends.
They both kind of giggle a little bit. Ro kind of covering her face a bit with a giggle as they kind of laugh. And Katya, Ro leans over just a little bit and eyes over at Coriander. He's cute.
Right?
You can only see my nose and ears. What the heck? I got a whole clip. No, actually, he probably has. The clip.
Sometimes that's all it
Okay.
takes.
Your nose
Tate.
and
all it
ears are
takes.
cute,
Yeah.
Tate.
You also I'm pretty sure you earlier specifically said you have your cloak off or down.
The hood is probably down. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It becomes more clear when the hood is off that his posture is not "I'm being secretive." It's "I am a little shy about this situation."
That makes
hood adds a
Corey
lot of
more
mis-
cute.
Exactly. Oh yeah. I think Ajay was just kind of continuing. He was like, these two have been my friends and are all super little. Or I guess littler.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Ro
got
just
taller.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ro just, yes, I grew up with their family, actually.
Mhm.
Speaking of which, your mother mentioned you should talk to her before the fireworks.
Oh yeah, there's probably not a lot of time then. I should probably be going soon-ish.
We'll probably be by the old tree if you're looking for a spot to watch them. Or you could go with your other friends, that's fine too.
Well, I mean, I like our old spot, so I mean, if y'all wanna come see the, I mean, I think it's one of the best spots to see the fireworks.
Lily kind of turns and just, would that be cool with you guys?
Sure.
Then, yeah,
Corey
let's do
nods
it.
his head like a liar.
Corey,
Uh-huh.
you little liar.
That makes it funnier.
This is excellent. This is a better chance for him to escape.
It's like, I see we didn't need to do any scouting after all if we have an expert.
Local experts are always better at that sort of thing.
Well, then let's do the following. So yeah, you were certainly right, Katya. You probably do want to start heading over towards your family to start seeing if you can find your mom for the fireworks. It's getting pretty close. The rest of you can go with Lily and Ro, and they'll show you towards the spot if you would like to. Is that what's happening, I assume?
I would like
Well,
to
before
roll
that-
stealth and see if my friends notice that I'm leaving.
Then yeah, how about let's do two things then. Corey, give me that stealth roll, and Katya, give me that disguise roll.
I am not taking advantage
okay,
on
so-
purpose. He's half-heartedly doing this.
There's not like necessarily like a roll for disguise kit on here, so like, what kind of check should I do?
Usually it is deception, I believe, but it can. I think you could argue stuff like sleight of hand or stealth, but I think deception is probably the right one.
I'll argue deception. I'll argue sleight of
Okay.
hand. I'll argue what you feels appropriate. Like
I mean, I'm happy with deception.
Deception works for me.
All right, let's do
You're
this.
lying with the disguise kit. That makes sense to me. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. And since I'm proficient with +2 on top of what I've already got.
Oh shit.
Okay, I almost.
Pretty good.
What if I don't have inspiration on this though? I feel like
It's
I
up to
should.
you. It's up to you.
I'm gonna use my inspiration on this to see if I can get higher. That's not like a 15 wouldn't be bad, but I want to see if I can get higher.
Redo it.
I
A 19
did.
is better.
19.
A 19 is
Yeah.
good. A 19 is good. A 19 is very good. So, you just managed to the group sort of departs and manages to sort of separate for a while. Coral, you do find yourself towards the back of the crew, and there's a really pretty looking jewelry stand you see that has just a bunch of various different style trinkets from all across the parts of the Endless Wood. The kind of thing your sister would go crazy about, honestly. And you see a few of them around, kind of just, being worked on, and it's a bit eye-catching if you want to go stop over and look at them. It's not like a thing. You're not too far from the trees. You can definitely kind of see where everybody's going to if you want to stop over real quick. You don't have to though. Do you?
I'm stepping on that rake. I see what you're doing here.
I love you. I love you. You know that, right?
all right. I think before Coral sort of sneaks off to the to the stand. Actually, she's not even gonna sneak. She's just gonna just tap whoever's in front of her. Just who is in front of?
Yeah. Who is in front of Coral? Why not? Who feels like it's appropriate?
Not Corey. He's trying to leave. He's
Ah!
behind everybody.
I think Corey should be in front of Coral.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Coral is making a concentrated and repeated effort. I feel like that's a contested roll. Beat my stealth if you want to try and be behind him
Oh
at this
god,
point.
I can't believe this is happening.
Well, anyways, I think the
Yeah,
first thing
I'm
is just gonna tap Corey on the shoulders, be like, "Hey, I'm gonna yeah, just so you know, and is going to
That's a good idea. You should go do that.
does not notice anything off about it.
Yeah. So yeah, Coral, you saunter on over towards the jewelry stand. Corey, you can go ahead and make that stealth roll to see if
I
you
did.
want
It was
to
a
sneak away.
17.
If anybody wants to contested roll, like, perception to, see if you notice Corey fucking off.
I do also think it's appropriate for Foxy. Two people literally expressed that Corey is cute just a second ago, and maybe are paying attention to him. So if you want to just pick a random wisdom perception score and roll that shit.
Oh, I mean,
Okay.
Ro is staring at you the whole time, so yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, so 100%. I feel like
They're not gonna
Yeah,
say anything about it.
I think Coral is too busy paying attention to the stand.
Ooh, pretty.
entirely fair.
Anybody else, or are we leaving it there? Cool. Corey, you slide off, and it seems like while you definitely see, like, Ro kind of looks over and sees you kind of sneaking off, they don't say anything, or if they do, it's kind of like as the group is walking and babbling, they're kind of like, I think he's... and then just kind of goes back to walking quietly. But you're able to sneak off without anybody seemingly
Yeah.
noticing you, and you're able to make your way in. You can honestly, frankly, now you're thinking about it, if you wanted to like keep an eye on the northern watch towards the northern road outside of Narth and keep an eye on attack from that, the tree the little twins jumped out of actually probably wouldn't be a bad vantage point. Funnily enough.
Yeah, that seems about fair. He'd want to be high up in a tree where he can still see the fireworks fairly well, but also still have a sense of like quite a bit of the forest where someone might advance on the town.
So Coral. So Corey, you slink off. The rest of you started making your way. Katya, you head over towards the fireworks, and I want to give you that real quickly because we're definitely gonna make sure we deal with them more. Trust me, it's not something we're going to see them. But we do quickly see as you guys break off towards the tree. You see Katya is approached by two taller looking Mapash. One looks again similar to Katya, definitely maybe slightly a few less lines of age than Sabirika you saw earlier, but the man she's walking next to has a dusky brown coat, and almost seems like he has a bit more fur kind of built up around his shoulders and in collar somewhat. And they both kind of walk up, and you can see they lean down and just open their arms out towards Katya.
Big hugs.
She-
Big hugs.
She runs over, the larger one kind of just picks you up and loves you. Oh, there's my starlight. I've missed you.
I missed you guys too.
And she just kind of you've messed with your hair recently. You need to be more
I-
careful about this.
It's okay. I'll fix it later.
It's good to see you, darling. Are you well?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I know we're
yeah.
super busy with all the fireworks and everything now, but I want you to meet my friends. I brought friends.
Well, let's get set up for a nice little show. And since we have so much festival tonight, and hopefully you'll still be in town tomorrow, we'll have plenty of time to catch up.
Mhm.
She smiles at you, puts a kiss on your cheek, and you can see from the side someone calls up and just, Erica, Taik, we're about all done with that last rigging. And just, duty calls. All right, young lady, get those fuses set up and grab those big ones from over there if you don't mind.
Yep, I got it.
Thank you. And you all who are heading towards this kind of tree with the rest can see Katya busy with her parents, kind of running around and setting up some small fuses and lighting up sort of two fireworks into different chambers and things like that. And it seems like the whole town is aware that it's not too long until the show's going to kick off. Before that, though, we slide our way back over to Coral, who has found themselves over at the stand, and you're find a couple of things and that are trinkets you're looking at. And does anything catch your eye in particular? You can make it up if you like. Anything you notice that really catches your eye?
I think something that Coral is immediately drawn to is this very intricately carved aragonite pendant. It's blue, and has a string of pink-colored pearls around it.
Ooh.
As like sort of like part of the chain is just these pink pearls with this almost a turquoise colored aragonite circle.
Yeah, I love that. You're looking at that. You're seeing. You're keeping an eye on this, and then you're seeing this again. There's several displays going on, several different sort of like sections with different settlement styles all around. Earrings, some bracelets, some trinkets, some loops, some tail curls, some fur bangles, some things like that. And there's also what looks like a centralized box kind of behind the main shelf. It's clearly made of glass. It has this brilliant pair of earrings. They are looped and have a set of like rows of pearl. And you can tell for a fact these are specifically what are called god pearls. And they're so called because they have this sort of iridescent, almost semi-magical shine. They're not innately actually capable of producing any magic themselves, but they are incredibly rare. While there isn't really a price listed for them, you know for a fact those things have to be worth easily tens of thousands of silver pieces, probably more.
In other words, unaffordable.
Yeah. And this might be a good time to ask, since I guess this be a question for Katya then. What's this disguise look like?
Okay, so I want to take y'all back just a little bit, like before
Take it
when
all
this
the way back.
disguise was just put
To a
together.
campaign called By the Shadow.
The camera.
Oh my God!
The
No,
camera
stop!
Only saw her with the shawl on, and so we get this flashback to before the shawl was put on.
Exactly. So, let's take you back to it. Well, everyone was doing everything else, and the disguise was being put on. And the first thing that Coral did when that disguise was on was to go and sneak up Ori. And I want someone to go back and scream and see how much I was losing my shit because that happened. Because okay, first thought was, oh yeah, I can just make Coral look like one of the Mastella family members. Like, that's the easy thing, right? But it's like, okay, but that's not the fun thing. So Katya looks at her materials and she looks at kind of like what Coral already has, and that is the sash, and she decides that she's going to make Coral look like Corey.
Oh my god.
Floppy
Gotta
ears
change a
out of
few
the
letters
hood and
here.
everything.
And so the fact that the first thing that she did was try to scare Corey as Corey is the funniest fucking shit to me.
And he didn't react. He's like, yep, that
No, he didn't at all.
He's like, it's an excellent disguise. I'm
I
very
told you it was going to be
I
diabolical.
wonder who that could be.
Oh, that's so good.
in my head,
Okay.
Corey has like some stone earrings in each ear to like keep them low. So like, there's fake ears with these little stone earrings at the bottom still.
With a
Love it.
19, that
Right,
means
Bert.
it's actually pretty good.
It's not bad. It
Uh-huh.
doesn't look bad. So, Coral, you're holding this aragonite, pendant chain, and you're looking at it, and you're also noticing the unaffordable ass earrings you're seeing. And Coral, what's better, your hearing or your smell?
Great question. I will say probably sense of smell because her hearing has been going via tinkering and explosions.
Makes sense.
Fair and valid.
You're amidst all the smells of lovely food and warm, well-lit fires. Your nose fills with a more not pungent, but a more like earthy and sort of like musky smell that's familiar to you, and also kind of the like faint smell of something burning. You can kind of hear, or not hear, but just out of corner of vision, a bit of a puff of smoke kind of hits the peripheral of your vision, and a voice kind of just says, "It's pretty."
Ironically, Coral freezes like a rabbit.
It's absolutely frozen. It's just.
Like a snow rabbit.
It is quite the lovely string of pearls, isn't it?
Yeah. Wonder where they got them from.
Those are incredibly rare. I think I've only stumbled across one. Smashed one in a. Well. Once. Only once.
He says, and there's 2 strings of them hung out like something like they should be, like they belong on somebody's ears. Weird how the world works. You look good, by the way, Coral.
19 was good enough.
You rolled a 21.
Damn it.
I didn't want to say it out loud. I didn't want to give it to you. I felt so bad.
It does look good.
Yeah.
Also, it's very funny that Coral did not try and hide her identity with her dialogue at all. No, like, yeah, I wouldn't know.
Nah.
Yes, it's a friend of mine's work. Actually, I'm currently. I believe, last I checked in the mirror, I looked a lot like, well, a friend of mine. They are quite cute, aren't they?
Are you looking at you looked over at this person yet?
Nope.
Fair enough. The voice chuckles a little bit in jest. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird getup. You're making it work though. So, brings you this far north.
Oh, the usual. Tomb delving, inventing. And you?
You know, being diplomatic. Festival's a big show, and, well, things have been looking up, so I want to keep spirits high. Thought I might show my face.
You? Diplomatic?
Times change.
Times do change. How is she?
You were, she's, well, roll me an insight check.
Oh, I'm terrible.
The thing you're real good at.
The thing that I'm really good at. Uh-huh.
I believe in you.
You're channeling Corey, you'll roll high, I promise.
Currently disguised as
Yeah, good
Corey.
luck.
We'll see how this goes without me doing anything. Should I spend an inspiration because I am channeling
With
Corey?
that 15?
Listen, this is why you give them out like candy. You make your players think.
Do it.
You know what? I'm
Yeah,
doing
I
it. I'm spending it to get to because I'm channeling Corey.
All right. With a 15, his exact words are, yeah, that. He just says that. She's good. And the way he says that, even though you're not looking at him, you can absolutely tell, definitely implies there's more to that she's good he's not telling you.
Yeah, I figured.
You were missed at Mom's funeral.
Well, I may or may not have been caught up in a few explosions.
I should also clarify, Coral. You know who he's talking about, obviously. Her passing is news.
Oh. Okay. Wait. What? And Coral will actually turn and look at him now.
You turn and you are looking at, I'll describe him finally, a relatively lanky-looking Vulpin, darker black onyx fur, with sort of like relatively regal-looking kind of like gambeson and a pair of pants on. Has what looks like a kind of like gold inlaid pistol slung at his hip, and has kind of like a set of like braids done in the back of his hair, which have some gold bangs on them, and it has a bit of a cigar in between his lips. This would be, you know what? No, I'm not gonna give his name right now, actually, because that'd be too much fun. So he's looking, and just a few weeks ago, sickness came back pretty bad. We had to be quick about it.
Sorry, I wasn't there.
You were busy. And now, I've got to be diplomatic. You missed a lot when you were out there searching for things. Hope you find something useful. It's good seeing you.
You know, I found a lot of interesting things out there. But it seems I've missed you growing up.
I don't know about all that. Things just happen to change all around me, so I had to change with them. If you're ever around, come by. Home's a lot different without you there. You should see how.
Well, if we're in an area. I'll pay my respects.
That's appreciated. Kind of turns. If it sells your stomach at all, I won't tell her I saw you.
No, it's fine. Has she read any of my letters?
You should probably ask her about those. Not my place.
Time passes too quickly, huh? You take care of yourself, Bosch.
You too, darling.
Don't call me
For
that.
the fireworks, yeah? Sorry. Old habits.
Seems like we still can't let go of things. Either of us.
He looks... You'd be surprised.
Maybe I will.
Enjoy the fireworks, yeah?
You too.
He turns, snaps a little bit, and kind of like does a bit of a whistle. The attendant working the jewelry stand pipes up and just... You got a box big enough for those? Pointing at the glass. And he just... yeah, I could find something, certainly. Give me a moment. Doesn't seem like he has anything more he wants to say to you right now.
Mm-mm. I think Coral gives another look at the necklace, not the earrings. Just seize the moment while it's still here, huh? Sir, can you post a parcel to Forge Town?
He looks over and just costs a bit extra, but not impossible.
And Coral will just motion over to the Aragonite necklace.
Fine pick. Let me just handle this gentleman right here, and I'll be right with you.
Of course.
And while he doesn't turn his head at all, at this point I'll just give it because you said his name already. Vosh, who definitely other people might recognize as prefect of Forgetown, cuts his eyes at you a little, and then cuts them back over to the earrings. Doesn't seem to say anything though. I'll let you pass on from there, assuming you will, take some time to get your get your situation all bagged up.
You know, we'll just stew in this awkward atmosphere for a couple more minutes.
Thanks for stepping on the rake. I love you.
Forced to deal with an awkward social situation. She really is channeling Corey.
So, friends, I'll keep this one nice and short and simple. Katya, you spend some time with your family, getting all the setup and done, getting work and everything done, and your family, your parents find you like vibrating at the edge of the family area when like it's almost showtime, just like, and they can tell you want to go up in this tree with your friends, and technically it's usually all hands on deck for the show to make sure everything goes well. Like your father looks like he wants to be like and your mother's like, let her go. She hasn't been in town for a while. And he, go on, don't get into trouble.
Thank you, runs away.
She takes off running, and you have climbed this tree so many times. You know exactly how to do it. Foot to the right, spiral up to the left, climb a few steps, branch up, and then as you the camera follows you, slowly escalating and scaling. But funnily enough, Coral, of all people, not too far behind you, although she might maybe have a bit of a different look about her face. Up to you, Coral.
Yeah, Coral's, I think, pensive? Pensive.
Pensive's a good word. I like pensive. Good word. That's one of my favorite emojis.
I have
It's true.
a side question. How much of a time did Thag have getting up in this tree? I'm just kind of curious. He's the
Damn.
least equipped to climb tree. I want to know.
True.
It took some effort.
There's a few more broken branches than there used to be.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. But broken branches aside, eventually, friends, you all gather atop this tree on this. It looks a little bit old and maybe has a small little hole here or there, but it's secure sturdily and reinforced well enough. An old wooden platform built supported on some branches that Katya, you, Ro, and Lily put up here years ago. It maybe does a little bit of a slight, give of some pressure as Thag puts himself on it, but it's held the three of you and plenty of other friends. It's gonna hold. You should all be fine.
He left the hammer on the floor.
Left the hammer on the ground, most likely. That's probably a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
And friends, you're all gathered, sat here, staring up, just beyond the cloud line, kind of peering through a nice sort of space where there's no trees because the path is still cleared, and seeing a beautiful starlit skyline all above the whole of the Endless Wood. As down below you can see the town, the square is filling full of people who are all looking upwards. People are coming out of their homes and, moving their stands and coming out of the Great Hall. And after a bit of a moment of silence, there's a cascade of booms. First one. Something shoots into the sky and explodes, a bright yellow flare like a 5-pointed star. Then another, bright, brilliant blue. And then there's three, yellow, red, and orange, all arcing and curved to form this almost flower-like shape. People cheer and roar, and then it's long quiet, silence. People lower their heads. They offer goodbyes to people who have passed, well wishes for loved ones who are away, kindness for people who are nearby them, warmth for their neighbors. Silently, people pray and ask for these things to whatever might still be out there listening. And then, after a long minute of silence, the sky comes alive. Colors paint the night in yellows and whites, reds and blues and purples, thunderous cavalcades, fusillades of fire as the whole of the Mycelia compound is filled with a firm, thick haze of smoke and ash that almost rises up high enough that you guys can almost cough a bit of it in the tree. As the whole of the town cheers and screams and roars, people throw hugs around each other and toss up flowers and wave their lanterns around. Fires are relit and everyone seems to cheer and, well, offer a moment of collectiveness, community, the thing that binds us together, the thing that ended the Savage Age. Sometimes it's just about being there for the people who are beside you. That's really all that matters. And before we end our night on that note, I have one last thing to show you all, friends. We pass ourselves away from the explosive festival that is Anarth. The sky is quiet as time also slides itself backwards as we observe earlier in the evening, down in the old hollow, in the shrine to Aluea. Palomare stands, her eyes closed, as she breathes softly. Gonna stand there all night? Miss the show. Just savoring change on the wind. That's all. I will miss this place. Yeah, well. Sound like it's not going with you, yeah? You're the most pious part of this place. You're a flatterer. And you're late. Come on. She turns. He kisses her on the cheek. They start to walk outside, coming past the long caverns of the old hollow. They stand outside and wait, looking up at the sky. It begins to come alive with color. Sylph puts an arm around Tala, pulls her close. A couple of brats walk in here, and all of a sudden the world looks so much different. Weird, huh? Such is fate, my love. All we have to do is change with it. She leans over, leans down, and kisses him. And then pushes him hard to the ground as something whips through the air, and an arrow embeds itself in her shoulder. Tala! What? He draws a pistol, puts them both in the sky, and starts letting off shots and fire as something flits to the left of the trees. Another arrow lashes out, and he rolls to the left to avoid it. Fuck, they're good. He puts up his pistol, goes to shoot again. Something snatches it out of his hand, pins it to the wall, to a tree with an arrow. Tala pushes him over again, and he collapses under her. Tala, you all right? You need to run. He looks over. There are 3 more arrows embedded in her back. No, not without you. Sylph, please, be safe. I love you. Run. And she slumps to one side of him. He stands up. You bastards. Show your fucking faces! Fires off a shot. Reloads. Holds. Looks left and right. Sees a shadow. Fires after it. Something flies out. Slashes across his right eye. He goes to the ground in a howl. And then takes off into the forest. There is a long, slow quiet. The evening goes silent. The air still. And then a slow, silent tremor that becomes a rumble, that becomes a thrum along the ground, that becomes stone and earth and tree uprooting themselves as skyscraper-sized canopies collapse to one side or another, smashing into the ground as something takes a single insectoid arm, reaches out of the ground, and slams down. And with that, tonight's Stealing Arbor comes to a close. I want to thank you all for coming out to a very fun episode that I love to pull my players through. It was so great to see them live in their little wholesome moments for a while, and then I ruined it. I'm going to pass it on to my players so they can go ahead and give their outros. We'll pass ourselves out of here and get you all set off for a raid for the evening. So in the order that I call you out, please tell me who you are, where you can be found on the internet, what you have coming up, and of course, who you played tonight. Let's start off with Sir Heckalot.
I'm muted. Why me first? God damn it.
This went last. At the beginning.
Okay, fine. Everything's fine. Hey, everybody. It's me, Sir Heckalot. You know, I'm here. I'm on your screen. And I play Katya. It's always a great time. Find me all over the internet at Sir Heckalot, including Twitch, Itch, Blue Sky, etc., etc. Just find me. Best place to figure out where I'm to be in the TTRPG space next, because I do a lot of things places. And you know, I might be doing cool things like writing in the next Corvid Court supplement by Spencer. So, you know, if you're interested in bird games, check that out. But yeah, of note on the streaming side of things, you can find me on right here every other Monday. Oathsworn as Dragon Lords. You can find me over on Crits and Giggles TTRPG with a Tyranny of Dragons campaign. Yeah, that's every other Thursday. I think those are, the 3 games I'm in right now. I'm not, like, you know, overextending myself too much because I'm going to be moving to job soon. So if you're interested in wildlife rehab and all that kind of stuff, I'll probably be posting a lot of that. Or if you like cats, I'm probably going to be posting a lot more of my cat.
We love Calliope.
Life is the best girl. I
Adorable.
love her. She's
Best
very
little
good.
girl. Love her lots.
She's so good. But yeah, that's me. On over to the next person.
Take it away, Tate.
Well, hello,
Take it
Twitch,
away.
and hello, Internet. I have been and will always be Tate Washburn. Today I have been playing Coriander de Clement, the scout rogue who, it's very hard. It's very touching that everyone had this moment of like, oh yeah, the people next to you, and he had no one next to him because he's a paranoid little shit. Anyways, you will find me next on Knights of New Avalon, the adventurous, justice-seeking, big damage numbers coming out of the enemy head Beacon Odyssey game. This next Saturday, I will be running it with several of these people here as my wonderful players, where we're gonna be saving the Magnolia Realms. If you don't know what that is, you should be watching our show. Anyways, you can
boss fight.
You could follow me on Take the Terrific on any place I care to be found. If you find me somewhere else, no, you didn't. But you should really follow this channel's Blue Sky, Neon Lights Role Play, because that's where we have several people who are much funnier than me announcing all the cool stuff we do, or you join us on our Discord, where we meme and we stream and we pick up players for games like this sometimes. And I think that's about it. All I got. There's another game that we're pre-recording, but you guys don't know about that. Look forward to seeing me in some other places. And otherwise, it's been fun being here, and I've enjoyed every second of it.
Swing it over to Lucian.
Hey, I'm Lucian. I played Thag Shrubs, our Rune Knight fighter. Hedge. You'll see me here every once in a while for this and then Knights of New Avalon, and that's it for now because that's a lot of stuff for me to be in. And yeah, that's all I got.
It's on Dan.
Hello. Goodbye, I guess. We're at the end. I'm Lan the Dan. I played Adlo Tomoya, the Gerbine Oath of the Hospitalier Paladin. I don't exist outside of this channel. But I have a Blue Sky, which is Lan the Dan, and I'll be here in another 2 weeks unless another disaster strikes and we have to do something else again.
Which you were there for too, so don't worry about it. Bring us home, Michelle.
Okay, hello, hi, it's me, I'm Michelle. I don't exist on the internet, so don't go looking for me there. And today I played Coral, our Otterfolk inventor, who has temporarily become a rabbit folk, question mark, question mark.
Stepped on very interesting rakes today.
You're welcome.
Yep, alright, cool. You can find
Great
me.
job.
You find me the same thing. Yeah. The thing that isn't going. You'll hear about it later. That thing.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The pre-recorded game. That
He
thing.
is under
Got it.
NDA.
Anyways,
What's going on?
passing it
Uh-huh.
back up to Foxy. No, I'm putting
That's
the wrong
me.
direction. This way.
I'm one of those
This way or
directions.
this way?
But I'm also Young Foxy,
way.
aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Philly's finest. And I'm all over the internet at Young Foxy. It's YUNG_FOXXI, sometimes with no underscore in the middle. So if you can't find one, look for the other. I'm all over here on Neon Lights Roleplay doing great things. If you want to see me up next, you'll see me back next Wednesday for another episode of Jump City Sirens, our mask adventure. It's getting real heated up in Arc 1. Things are going to get really exciting very soon for there. And then you'll see me 1 week after that, actually, on that same week, actually, on that Saturday, for another episode of Knights of New Avalon, playing Little Scouts with Littlest Swords. And if you thought that wasn't enough me, come on back in 2 Tuesdays from now. That's, Tuesday after next week, for another episode of Tears of Divinity, where, spoiler alert, friends, we have a whole cast.
Really? Exciting.
That said, it's been a fucking great time, gang. This has been an incredible adventure, and I can't wait for you guys to deal with what's coming next. It'll be a wonderful time, and I hope you all have your emotions prepared. We'll see you all in 2 weeks. We've been Neon Lights Roleplay. This has been Steel and Arbor, and you, my dearest darlings, have all been incredible. Be good to yourselves, everybody else around you. Good night, and good luck. I love you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.